Hey guys, welcome back, welcome back. I know, like, wait, why am I saying welcome back to you guys? I'm the one being welcomed back, isn't it? I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back on my weekly shows. I'm happy to see you guys again. I want to say hi to everyone in the building. Hello, Jody. Welcome back. Says Ameera is back. Thank you. I never left. I swear I never left. Gary, thank you so much. Gang, gang. He says, good morning, Ameera. I'm glad you're back. Thank you, even though I never left. Hi, Aaron, always with his popcorn ready. Oh, what is this, fries today? Fries, okay. Be careful with the fries. That's how you pack on the kilos. Aaron says thought privilege. The thought gap between thoughts in America has doubled. You guys have seen that recent video of that girl who came out saying that she has slept with over 2,000 people. That's a whole stadium. A whole stadium of people have lined up to enjoy her hummus. Oh my God, disgusting. Shame on her. Shame on her for feeling the shamelessness to say that. Yeah. Sir Chi, thank you, Sir Chi. Good to see Ameera back. Thank you so much. He says, like and share this broadcast. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, people, you have to do your duties today. We have to do our duty. Snuggle says, drop the link. The link should be in the description, hopefully. Right, JR? So you guys can come in as soon as you want. He calls me friend, says hello. Seems like it's been forever. It has, honestly. It really has. We all go through things, don't we? All right, guys. And he calls me friend and says, is this the new day and time? What do you guys think about this time? You guys let me know. If you guys are okay with this, we'll stay with this. If not, we can change. We'll figure it out together. Okay, let's begin. I want to share with you guys something. You guys know that I love to bring up articles with you. I love to share with you the things that the world is saying, what people are saying, what cultures say, how different cultures see the things in the trash that goes on in America. You guys, that's how we started. We started with me bringing a different perspective and how we see you as America. So in this case, there was an article written recently by Yahoo News, which is garbage. Never trust Yahoo in the first place. Nonetheless, they think they're experts on relationships, so let's see what they say. They say, there is a such thing as couple privilege, that it says the wealth gap between single and married Americans has more than doubled in the last decade. Before I read this article, I want to share something with you guys that most of you might know and maybe some of you don't. In the upper echelons of America, of the world, the more money that people tend to make, the less you see degeneracy, like children born out of wedlock, children born into families that aren't ready for them, who cannot properly care for them. So when you go into the upper class of people, typically there are no children born to unmarried parents. This is just, it's still seen as taboo. And also divorce rates drop significantly when you go into people who are richer than others. When you go down to the lower class, now we see that most middle class and lower class Americans are not getting married. There's no marriage, which is also doubling the wealth gap. And people think, I've seen people speculate, saying that the wealth gap is the largest problem in this country. We need to get people like Jeff Bezos to give away half of his fortune to poor people, and that's going to somehow help. No, 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 no. Money isn't the answer. The answer is the lack of morality and character. And I believe that if we saw people in the middle class staying together, making solid families, creating environments where the children will be raised properly, that we wouldn't see so much poverty and crime and strife. Not that I'm saying poverty and crime are connected, because I'm not. I know people like to say it is. It is not. Being poor does not make you a criminal. Okay? Being poor doesn't mean that you have to steal. I hate when people say that about poor people. They say, oh, if you're poor, well, then, you being a criminal is expected because you're hungry. No, no, no. That is a lack of moral character, a lack of personal values. That's what makes you steal. So, anyway, it says couple privilege. The wealth gap between single and married Americans has more than doubled in the last decade. How do you get ahead when it's just you? You don't. You don't. Life is not meant to be lived alone. You're not meant to live alone in this world. We are humans. This is why our sense of cooperation is higher than every other animal in the animal kingdom. I know we're not animals. I get it. We're not animals. I'm an animal, but maybe you guys aren't. I'm still an animal. But this is why our sense of cooperation makes us better than other animals, because we cooperate with each other better than everyone else. It makes us smarter. It makes us stronger. If you thought that being alone makes you stronger, or you're going to do better alone, I'm sorry, you're mistakenly wrong. Back to the article. It says, if you thought that the endless swiping and scrolling on dating apps were the worst parts about being single in 2022, then hold on, because there's an even colder reality awaiting you. And then it goes on to talk about inflation and rising interest rates. It's hitting single households hard. High inflation, which is at 8.3% in August. And the increasing interest rates aren't helping the singles either. I have a theory. A lot of people don't like to hear my theories because I know tinfoil hat, Ameera, Alex Jones' niece, conspiracy theory, Ameera, I know. My theory is that there is a push to make single adults alone, childless, living in 200 square foot apartments, little studios, all by themselves. There's a push to have you alone and vulnerable. The more unit you have around you, the stronger you are as a person. And people hate to hear that, because people are like, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I can do it all by myself. Married couples are accumulating the greater net worth of this country. And this is why you see the upper echelons staying married, getting married, having their kids in married homes. And while you have other people like Beyonce singing, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Why? When she's a married woman, she's telling everyone else to be single ladies, oh, it's so fun, but she's married. When she gets finished singing that song, she goes right back home and under her husband, while everyone else is still singing single ladies. She's part of the top richest women in the world, Beyonce. And don't think that part of that doesn't come from her actually being married and being in that unit. Her husband does help her. They help each other. This is what makes them what they are, I guess you could call it. I have theories about Jay-Z and Beyonce, but I'm not going to go into that. The quote, Yahoo quotes, it says, houses are getting more valuable, as have been financial assets. Although until recently, through the market volatility, financial assets have had a much more of a roller coaster ride. I don't know who wrote this, but the grammar is not grammaring. Financial assets have had a roller coaster ride. I corrected that for them. But housing assets still remain very strong. The median house price in the U.S. in 2019 was about $300,000, according to Realtor.com, while in the May of 2022, the median list price was $447,000, and that increase is showing up in the disparity of wealth. You guys have also seen that I spoke about this a few months back on my own channel, but I want to share it with you guys. There's also been an influx of a lot of the uber wealthy buying up, overpricing, what is the word? Give me the word, guys. What is the word when you have two people bidding on a home? Let's say the home costs $300,000. Just an example. What is the word? When you have two people bidding on this home, one person says, I'll give $300,000, the value of the home. The other person says, I'll give $1 million. And the other people are like, what do you mean 1 million? The house isn't even worth that. Like, you're making it so that no one else can compete with you. What is that called? It's called, I believe, overrunning the market or something of that nature. Here, I'm gonna look at your at what you guys are saying. What is it called? Hold on. Driving up the price, falsely inflating, says for SMI. Outbidding. It's more than outbidding. It's controlling anyway, this is what they're doing. This is what I see happening a lot. You guys have seen it in all these town areas. They're buying up the whole town. The whole town now belongs to one person. They're creating this monopoly on property. And people, you're outpriced. Who is the person who's selling that house going to sell it to? They're not going to sell it to you with your $300,000. Yes, the house is worth $300,000, but they will sell it to the millionaire, the one who says, I'll give $1 million for it. And this is the issue. Somebody says it's a bidding war. It's not so much of a war. It's more of an arse whipping, if you call me. If you ask me that, it's more of an arse whipping, because it's not even a war at that point. You have lost. You have been defeated. You must hang your head now and walk in shame at that point. If someone has outbid you by that much, it's no longer a war. No, take your losses and go home. Hi, Mr. C. Market manipulation says truth over emotions. Okay, back to the article, because I want you guys to hear what Yahoo is saying about this couple privilege, saying that it is a privilege for you to be married. It's a privilege. I guess these people have never been married. Coming from a married woman, if you're telling me that I am privileged because I'm married, that is, I mean, it's just another way to make everything seem like things are handed to you. You see how they say, oh, if you're white, you're privileged. Automatically. Just because of your skin tone, you're privileged. Is that so? Have you ever been white? Or is it that the majority of millionaires that you've seen were white, so you assume that every other white person benefits from being white? Have you ever been white? Do you know how it feels to be white? Do you really feel that privilege when you're white? I don't know. I don't know. But this just seems like the same. Marriage privilege. Have you ever been married? Do you really feel privileged when you're married? Was it given to you, the marriage? No. You had to work for it. You put in work when you're married. And sometimes you suffer when you're married. That is not, I mean, I guess they're talking about financially. I guess they're saying financially you're privileged because you guys get to save money. Married couples save more money than single people. Sure. But is money the end all be all of life and happiness? I mean, if you care about happiness, some people don't care about happiness. But if you care about being content with your life, is that all that matters, is the money? I don't know. John Kill, I can't say your last name. John is here. Hi, John. He says, BlackRock still buying up houses, I see. Guys, you heard it. You heard it here. No sympathy. No sympathy says Yahoo is a blue pill simp company. I know. I know that. Trust me, I know. All of mainstream media is. Any mainstream media that you listen to, they are going to promote. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. This is not a political show. I'll leave that there. Let me see. Somebody said, I think it's called smart by knocking off the competition? You know what? In a way, yes, yes. But let me ask you, how can the middle class thrive and be stronger in this country if people are doing things like that, just buying up whole blocks, and then I don't know. I mean, you could say, oh, it's fair because, oh, well, you should have had more money to give to the person, but that is an insane difference between 300,000, 500,000 to $1 million that no one can compete with. And I don't know. I just think that if you're rich, you need to be responsible. Leave something for the other people. You don't need to take everything for yourself. And, maybe it is fair. Who knows? Larry says, I've been black. Oh, I guess the premium is asking, have you ever been black? Well, I guess for everyone in this world, you can't be something that you're not. So if you're white, you've never been black, so you don't understand. If you're black, you don't understand what it is to be white. Nor do neither of those understand what it is to be Asian. Same thing with any other race. So to say that someone's privileged because of the color of their skin is absurd. To say someone is poor because the color of their skin is absurd. Just how white people always say, oh, well, the black people need our help. How do you know? You're saying because the color of their skin, they need your help? I think it's racist, personally. I think assuming anything because of someone's skin tone is racist. Do you mind being racist? Hey, that's fine. Brandon says, facts, there is a wealth gap. Well, the wealth gap here, based by Yahoo, is saying that it's coming because married people save more money than singles. So we said that the average price of a home in 2019 was $300,000, according to Realtor.com. In the May of 2022, the list price was $447,000. That has been an increase of about $150,000. The extra $150,000 makes applying for a mortgage that much harder, right? Especially if you're on your own and trying to get in on a competitive market. Married couples are going to have greater net worth of accumulation through housing equity. And so I think that it's going to be potentially ballooning this gap even further. Barring any sort of household market downturn and rapid price depreciation. In 2021, married couples were twice as likely to buy a house than singles. Well, that makes sense, no? Married couples buy homes because they have people to put in said homes typically, especially if they've reproduced. They have people to put in said home. Single people don't really have a need to buy a home. This is why I've seen that push to have people live alone with cats and dogs and animals that will eat you when you die. Did you guys know that there are animals that eat their owner when their owner passes away? There are. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. That cat that you love so much and you're like, oh, kitty, he loves me. He cuddles next to me when I sleep. He'll have a fork and knife ready for when you pass away. Awesome. This is why children are better than animals. In 2021, married couples were twice as likely to buy a house than singles. That year, 60% of house buyers were married couples. 60% were married. 19% were single women, and 9% were single men. Because men tend to, never mind, I'm not going to say that. But 19% of single women were buying homes, whilst 9% of single men were buying homes. I wonder why. Could it be that the 19% of single women had children that they were raising? And they were able to afford a home or get a loan on a home or what have you? I don't know. And 9% of single men were buying homes. Honestly, from what I've seen, men seem like they could just buy an RV and drive off into the wilderness and live. They really do not care. The majority don't seem to care about their living environments. Not like women, anyway. Let me see. I want to go past all the nonsense that Yahoo is trying to indoctrinate me with. and move on to the actual gems of the article. One moment, guys. Okay. So it says dual earning couples not only are bringing in two incomes in many cases, but also sharing the expenses, the food, the clothing, the shelter, and everything else. Who writes an article like that? Okay, first of all, I have a problem with you, Yahoo. Who wrote this article? Who who writes dual this long sentence and then ends it with and everything else? Have you heard of the word etc., Yahoo? Etc., not etc., etc. Have you heard of that word? Who says just anything else? That is so okay. Moving on. So that there is an innate disadvantage, says the market price who wrote the book called Single Women and Money. How to live well on your income? How about single women and money? How to find a husband? How to make a family unit? How to not run men away from you? No? No. And single women have added the hurdle of the gender pay gap, have added to the hurdle of the gender pay gap. This is what I'm telling you about the whole indoctrination. They're trying to sneak in politics just slowly but surely. The gender pay gap. Which doesn't exist. I hope none of you here believe that the gender pay gap exists. I hope none of you are that. Okay. I'm going to read your messages. I want to see what you guys are saying about this. 4SM says, the wealth gap is widening, and this is putting the nail in the coffin for those who will remain most at risk for poverty if they are not combining wealth with someone long term. Agreed. Agreed. No sympathy. You're doing the right thing by keeping politics out of this channel. It may also be a good idea to keep dating and relationships out of your lioness channel. I could, but the thing is, politics and dating are so intertwined, honestly, and I can't separate myself from both of them. I just can't, because it's so ingrained in me, because I guess you could say because of my culture. It's just so deeply ingrained in me that it's hard for me to speak about politics without bringing up the correlation between politics and our dating choices, our dating lives. I mean, it's hard, but I'll try. No sympathy. I'll try. Hi, Cora. Nice to see you. He calls me friend. Hey, girl. He says, I think it's racist when people say only white people can be positions of power. Oh, can be in positions of power. Like what? I will never look at myself as less than to say white people are my oppressor. But the white liberal will have you think that. The white liberal, who is the enemy of all people, in my opinion, they will be the ones telling everyone else, every person of color, as they say, which I don't agree with that term, but every person that is not white, that white people are oppressors and they always have more power and privilege than us. Is that so? Or is it that they're just rich? There's people that are rich and there's people that are poor, and the people who are rich have more power than us. No, no, can't say that. For SM says, many single women will be looking for an RV. Many single women will be looking for an RV to drive off and live in if they do not have jobs that can pay raises matching the pace rental rates are rising. Yikes. Yikes. Can you be nice to us? Can you please be nice? Please be nice. Thank you, MS Best. That was the word, ignorant. Thank you. But I don't like to use that word because it's so overused and it's used improperly. People call people that they don't like or who don't agree with them ignorant. It's not ignorance to disagree with you. It's not ignorance to tell you something that possibly you didn't know. That's not ignorance. But that's everyone's favorite word to make themselves seem more smart. But that's why I didn't want to use that word. Maybe they've seen something that I haven't. Who knows? The gender pay gap, it's been debunked since 40 years. I know. What red wine? Red wine. He says, I didn't know women wanted to pound nails for a living. I'm not sure what you mean by that, and I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask. I'm not. Anna. Hi, Anna. She says, you look so beautiful. Thank you. I try. I really try. I try hard. What's that song? I think it's by Akon. I try so hard. Okay. John, he says, I would expect a slight decrease in buying a house and more couples living together out of necessity. Do you guys remember Kevin Samuels said something? Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. I'm sure that we all miss him. But Kevin Samuels mentioned something a while ago. He was talking about how we would start seeing men and women that are married but living in separate homes. That this will be the new form of marriage. You married, you get together to uh, carry out marital duties. Oh God, that sounds so bad. But you understand. You get together for a certain amount of times, and then you go back to your own home. So, but it doesn't make sense either. Paying two rents, paying this, blah, blah. I understand. But women are insufferable today. The majority of women are insufferable. And I don't say that because I hate women. I've already gotten emails. Ameera, why do you hate women so much? It's because I want to be one. I'm joking. No, I don't hate women. I say that we women, and I say we, as in myself included, we are insufferable today because most of us have been brought up with the indoctrine or the idea that we are either equal to men, better than men, or in some way or another more special. And this is what makes us insufferable. And us as women of the modern age have to unlearn that. We have to clean our mind of that in order to not be so insufferable, so that the men can actually hang out with us for more than 5 minutes without wanting to strangle us. So, John, he says white liberals are the most racist people, or all liberals if you want to break it down even further. I agree. I will not argue with that one. Eric. Hola, Eric. ¿Cómo está? Hi, Barry. Nice to see you, Barry. Nice to see you. Are you guys just kidding here? Oh my gosh. Okay, that's fine. Natalia, you were right. We're spoiled. We're spoiled as heck, and we don't realize it. Most American women don't realize how spoiled we are until you leave this country, and you mess around and find out very quickly. Are you guys hearing me when I move my head? Do you guys hear like tapping? Let me know if you guys hear any tapping, because I won't move my head so often then, because I have my microphone is here. So no sympathy. He says you should interview Austin Hollerman. Guys, I hate this last name. I don't know how to say this last name, guys. I have someone on my own channel with the last name Holler. How is that pronounced in English? Please help me, because I don't want to say Holler and I don't want to say Holler. I don't know. So I end up calling him Holla. So anyway, you should interview Austin Holla on his channel, Hollerman. He is currently trending in the manosphere with his Passport Bros movement. I don't think I want to go there. I don't think I want to go there. Okay, guys, let's get back to the article. Oh my God, me gusta tu español. Ah, pues claro. Yo tengo acento colombiano. Okay, let's get back to the article. So it says, and single women have added the hurdle to the gender pay gap. Over the course of their career, women make about $400,000 less than men. I repeat that. Over the course of their career, women make about $400,000 less than men. Ask yourself why. Why could that be? Why could it be that in general, women are making less money than men? Are they doing the same job? Do they have the same career with the same attendance, same position, same everything, and they're making that much less than men? Because there is a law against that, isn't it? Isn't it called something like an equal pay law or something like that? So there is a law against that, which is highly illegal. So if this is true, that women are getting paid $400,000 less than men, then there should be lawsuits up the ante. Is that the right word? Up the ante? Up the R's. However you want to say it. I did not say the bad word. I said R's, which is different. There should be lawsuits everywhere. Women, are you really that weak? Are we really that weak? Women say we're so strong, we're so independent, we're so this. You can't handle filing a lawsuit against someone who is paying you unfairly? Because this is illegal to pay you less for equal work. Anyway. Over the course of their career, women make about $400,000 less than men, according to the National Women's Law Center. And it is doubly worse. Is that a word? Doubly? Doubly? It's doubly worse for women of color. Inflation only exacerbates the problem, says Price. But the point is that if inflation cools, with which certainly everyone is hoping for, the fact remains that single women are at a notable disadvantage. Of course, they're at a disadvantage because they are alone. Someone also claimed that tips, when you tip waiters, give tips for like hair salons and what have you, that they are making up for the difference of the gender pay gap, supposedly. People are saying, like, if you are single, to make sure that you have an emergency fund. Oh my goodness, this is just nonsense. It almost seems like they are trying to help people be single. They are trying to tell you it's okay to be single. We just told you that people who are married are wealthier, they live better, and they can handle the inflation issues better. But if you want to be single, it's okay. We're going to help you be single. Just make sure you have some emergency fund. Make sure you have a little shoebox in the closet with some money saved up. You'll be fine. What's the next thing? It says, if you lose your job as a single person, you need to make sure you have funds to support yourself through a time of unemployment. The burden is all on you, and chances are you earn less than a man. So this article is actually made for women. It's actually made for women, telling women that yes, you could live more comfortably financially with a man, but you know, if you are single, all that burden is on your little shoulders, and chances are life is unfair, and the man next to you is making $400,000 more than you are. Nonsense. Okay, so that's the end of that article. I have to tell you guys, I think it's nonsense. I think it's bull. I think that we shouldn't promote this lifestyle that Yahoo is promoting. Thank you, Truth Over Emotions. He says men work mostly physical jobs and women in corporate offices. Who gets paid more for work? Men who are risking their actual lives in the job, whether they are, let's say, mechanics. I've seen a mechanic have a car fall on him. Okay, you die. Workplace deaths are 99% men. Drivers, men who are in those semi-trucks driving around, men. It's all men. Miners, men who are even, what's the other one? Sorry, guys. What's the one where they go into the sewer? They had that video, that really famous video of there was like this sewer hole, and there was this man going into the sewer. And when he opened the metal, the metal, is it iron or metal? Whatever. He took off the top. There were roaches the size of no lie, like that big. Roaches. There were roaches this size walking around on the edges. There were eggs, there was larvae, there was flies, there was maggots, there was all kinds of things. And this man had to get in there to unplug the sewer system. He went in there. The moment that he dipped his body inside of that, you understand? The moment he dipped his body inside of that, it just irritated all whatever else is in there, all of the hellhole that was inside of it. It irritated it, and everything came out. Everything was just like flying and going into his shirt collar and everything. It was disgusting. Would a woman ever do that job? Would a woman? Oh, ye women in the chat. Tomorrow, you're offered a position. You have to clean out the sewer systems. Everything that you flushed down the toilet, you forget about. You never see it again. They are the ones who see it. They are the ones who have to deal with it. Would you rather take their job, or would you rather work in, I don't know, a library, a firm of sort, a corporate office, HR? I know No Sympathy hates HR. No Sympathy, I'm sorry, I don't mean to trigger you, but HR is a thing, and it's supposed to be for women, No Sympathy. But would you rather do that? Look at Natalia. Natalia, she said never, never, no thank you. No, thank you. Most women won't even do a mechanic job. Why? Because we have hands Nails, we don't want to get that dirty. No, no, no. It's too much to clean out after. No. That stuff would never go away. What? Oh, Red Wine says they wear like deep sea diving stuff when they go do that in Mexico City. There's big globes of grease. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Where is the grease coming from? Isn't it supposed to be sewer? Oh God. Oh God. It's too much for my see. Just my reaction right there is enough to tell me that women and men are different. A man would see that and say, I'd probably get paid a lot of money for doing that. I don't want to do it, but you know what? The pay is probably really good. Give me the suit. Give me the suit. That's what a man would say. A woman is like, I need at least 1 million. No way. Mm-mm. Gosh, the difference. Red Wine says, I've seen it on the world's dirtiest jobs. Who are the people normally doing the world's dirtiest jobs? Men. Men. So much for feminism. That's where I want to see feminism. I want to see feminism going inside of sewer systems. I want to see feminism, all the feminists with their little pink pussy hats. Do you guys remember they had the pink pussy hats and they were like, "We are women, hear us roar. You will never touch me, Donald Trump." Trust me, Trump does not want to touch you. Trump will run away from you and probably call you a fat pig along with Rosie O'Donnell. Trust me, he did not want to touch you. But I would love to see those pink pussy hats. Put on your little pink pussy hat and get in that sewer. Girl power. Go get it done, girl. I trust in you. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. USA, you're wrong. Somebody put USA in timeout. You have to go to the corner. Go to the corner, USA. Go to the naughty corner. D2 says, I still never seen a female plumber. I know they're out there. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. Standing behind some man, handing him a wrench. Those are the female plumbers. Standing behind a man saying, you need a wrench? Oh, okay. Do you need the sucking tool? Do you need, yeah. She's standing behind some man while he works. Mimi. Hi, Mimi. Oh my God. I haven't seen you in so long, girl. Mimi. Hi, Mimi. She says, I don't have time for a dirty job. Lol. More power to those who have one. I like to sit pretty and remain clean at my desk. As you should, as a woman. That is, dare I say, that is our place. That is our place. Like, we're not supposed to be there. But we have to respect the men who do it. We don't look down on them, or we don't say we're jealous because they're getting paid more. Because their job is more dangerous. Okay? That's why they get paid more. Did somebody send USA to the naughty corner? Somebody do it, please. No Sympathy says, I work in safety and back up HR when necessary. I know, and you're highly triggered for HR. No Sympathy also says, I've only seen 2 female CDL drivers out of 200 in roster. Wow. Wow. 200 female CDL drivers. Do you need a CDL to drive a semi-truck? Right? I know you need it to drive a bus, like school buses, transit buses, but do you need it to drive a semi as well? Or is that a different type of license? I would love to know. Can you guys imagine me driving a semi? I would love to drive a semi. I would. I think, the reason I want to drive a semi is so that I can run over all the curbs and nobody can tell me anything. You can't tell me anything. All the stop signs in my neighborhood will be gone. You can't tell me anything because look, I'm driving a semi. What do you expect? You guys know they don't even get in trouble for all the things that they hit half the time. And I just want to have that big steering wheel where I could go like this and drive when I'm turning. That's what I want to do. I really want to have like a semi to drive. Oh my God, Cthulhu. I'm a nurse, so my job gets real dirty real quick. That's one job I could never do. There's women who I can never do that. I couldn't do that. Larry, he says he's driven them. He had a CDL. Okay, so you do just need a CDL? Oh, shoot. 1 second, guys. 1 minute. I need to put my charger. One second. Don't die on me. Don't. Not. Kara. What do you mean I have to restart my computer? Don't tell me what to do. No, no. I'll do it when I please. Okay, I'm back. Okay, here we go. All right. Hi, Norma. Norma's here. Hi, Norma. I'm so happy to see all the names that I've missed. I haven't seen you guys in so long. USA, what have you said now? He's out of timeout. USA says nurses have dirty jobs and work 12 hours. Respect to nurses and medical care professionals in general. Agreed. Agreed. Because those are jobs that not many can handle. You have to be a special type of person to handle those kind of jobs. Although I have seen many people who are psychos and serial killers that are women that work in that profession. I wonder if the profession made them into serial killers and psychos, or were they already that and chose to go into nursing because of whatever. Okay, so I do want to invite people on. If you guys want to come on, the link should be in the chat somewhere, or it should be pinned in the description section, which is at the top of the chat. At the top of the chat, there should be like a green or blue bar, and the link should be posted there. Queen Lala! Hi, Queen Lala. Nice to see you. But yeah, so the link should be posted there. I would like to invite anyone to come on. Anyone. I mean anyone, except USA. USA, I don't trust what you're going to say. I don't. You're going to get me in trouble. Let's see. J-Boss. He says, men like that. Wait, men like not just the pay, but the autonomy and respect that comes with dirty jobs. Is that so? Is that so? When you're one of the few willing to get dirty, people need you and you tell them the price. Whoa. Wow. That does make sense. That makes a lot of sense too. Like, no one can tell you, I'm going to pay you this much and that's final, because that job needs to be done and not many will do it. So you get to decide what your prices will be. You come with your whole price list. That's beautiful. That's the kind of profession that everyone wants, really. The ability to come in and say, my prices are this. Take it or leave it. Cthulhu says, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of weirdos in healthcare. So let me ask you guys this. I want to ask you guys another question. Hold on. I'm going to pull it up. So I want to share something else with you before we go. If no one's going to come up, then I'm going to continue on to the next subject. If you guys do come up, then I'll talk with you and we can chit chat and enjoy. But if no one's coming, then I'm going to go on to the next thing. The next thing I want to bring up with you. When I was talking about the couple privilege, the Yahoo article, I put it into the search bar in Google. And then the next one under it, the next article that it was trying to offer me was this one. The court to decide if spousal privilege applies to same-sex couples. The reason this makes me angry is because we can't speak about marriage and couples without this community having to be involved at all times. And I'm curious. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna open the article, and I don't know what we're gonna find, because this is just random that I'm just pulling up with you guys. We're in this together, aren't we? Aren't we? Don't leave me by myself here. I'm gonna pull it up and see what it says. My question to all of us is, do you guys think that gay couples make more money or save more money and have a higher wealth average than straight couples? Do you guys think that? Let's see. Okay, so this article says, oh my gosh, I don't even want to know. This was on June 6th. It says, a Jefferson Circuit Court judge will soon take up an issue that is a first for the state of Kentucky, whether spousal privilege can be invoked for same-sex couples. I'm going to actually look up, because I am curious, I'm going to look up the average, let me see. how would I word that, guys? Should I say like, mm, annual wealth, I guess, or annual earnings? Let's see, for gay couples, or how it would actually be married gay people, right? All right, I'm gonna pull it up. So it says men in same-sex marriages also have higher incomes overall than their counterparts in opposite-sex marriages. The median adjusted annual household income for men in same-sex marriages was roughly $132,000 in 2019, significantly higher than the median income for men in opposite-sex marriages. What do you guys think about that? Uh-uh. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, you guys know I'm against this whole, you guys, well, they call me the homophobe. You could call me that, whatever you want, but I'm not scared of gay people. I just don't think that it should be a thing to get married under God in a church when the book says right there clearly it's an abomination. That's what I'm against. But it says same-sex couples have a higher median household income than opposite-sex married couples, but their poverty rates are not significantly different. So when they're in the middle class, or the lower class, they tend to be exactly the same. Really? Because it brings up a question. You guys have all been to nice neighborhoods. You've been to a nice neighborhood where you've had a gay couple, right? Have you ever been to really poor areas and seen gay people there? Like living together, married, what have you? I haven't. I haven't really. Typically, they do tend to live in. Let me check for lesbians. Let me just see what it is for lesbians. 1 minute. I would imagine because they say women earn less, then for women it should be a lot less than opposite sex couples, right? Here, wait. Okay, here we go. Lesbian women, lesbian couples, marriages, they tend to earn $96,000 respectively. Respectively, sorry. Same-sex female married couples had a lower median household income than same-sex male married couples. Huh. Okay. All right. So there's your stats. I mean, I guess the ones who are really at the bottom are women who are in same-sex marriages. Then in the middle, you have opposite-sex marriages, which are the normal people, us. And then I guess at the top of the annual incomes, you have the gay men marriages. They tend to earn more. I wonder, is that because it's, I don't know, is it because they don't have kids? The majority of them don't have kids? Or is it because it's just two men working instead of just having one person working? Because a lot of times in normal married couples, the woman is taking care of the family and the man is out working. So I guess that's probably what it is. I don't know. Ugh. Uh, no, no, seriously, stop getting my popcorn ready. I don't know if that's popcorn or fries. It looks like fries, honestly. Okay, guys, the link is posted. Thank you, JR. The link is posted again here. If you guys want to come in, please do. I will answer the door to anyone who comes in. But after that, that's where the cordial ends. I'm joking. Let me see. Jodis, he says, I would believe two men in a relationship could earn more than a male and female relationship. Well, I believe it too, because I mean, the work ethic of men is stronger. I believe men work harder. So it makes sense. Yeah, MS Best. It was. It was. Sunlay says, also they populate the big cities where the money is bigger. Ooh. That is true. That's true. Oh, J-Boss. He says two women are statistically the most violent couple configuration. I know. I know. And they tend to say that women are softer, more nurturing. But when you have two women in a marriage, they want to kill each other physically. USA. No, they get the beat down. Queen Lala. She says, it's because they don't have extra responsibilities. That's what I was thinking, Queen Lala. That's what I was thinking. It's because they don't have extra responsibilities. And if it's two men that work hard, it's double the money. Makes sense. It does make sense. Hold on. I want to, hi, normal nerd. Welcome. Nice to see you again. I want to ask you guys something too, because I know, let me be offensive. Let me be offensive. I get it. But we see these marriages, yeah. I see that these couples, these gay couples, I had said something in a while back and it was rather offensive, but I'm not going to say exactly what I said there. But I believe that it shouldn't be a thing. I don't think that gay people should get married. Under God. Under God. I don't think that they should be married under God. I believe that they should have civil unions. They should have a civil union, which is recognized by the state in the case of the passing of one of the partners. In the case of the passing of one of them, that their assets will go to the other. But I do not believe that they should be religiously married under God. And I stand by that. I'm sorry, I just don't think it's proper to marry two men over a book that says it's an abomination. I believe that, and this is mostly, well, it's actually all Christians, because there is no Muslim mosque that's going to marry gay people. Sunlay says, yeah, there's a lot of hypocrisy there. That's the thing I'm saying. Oh my gosh, am I frozen? Great. And I froze in the worst position. I was like, guys, don't laugh at me. But so when I say that people call me a homophobe, I know I'm supposedly a homophobe for saying that gay people should not get married. Marriage is a sacred thing for man and woman. Why? Because typically there's fruit that is to be born from that marriage. There's no fruit coming out of two men being married. And yes, there are married couples who don't have children. I get it. But in general, when you're married, you marry because you want to have a family. And I see that so many churches are flying the gay flag outside of their establishments, and I'm like, these churches have been corrupted, just like this whole Yahoo article. No sympathy, I see you. Can you give me a quick wave just so I can make sure that it's you? Um, I hope JR doesn't yell at me because he doesn't want black squares on camera. But I know you. I know you. So can you give me just a quick wave and then you can turn off your camera again? But yeah, I think it's absurd to have this. Yeah, yeah. USA says gays are going to hell. Don't worry. What do you guys think about? Let me ask you this. What do you guys think about the transgender saying that if you are dressing like a woman, you feel like a woman, that you should be addressed as a woman? And even in New York, it is illegal to misgender or mispronoun someone. If you don't call them by the pronouns that they specified that they want to be called or addressed by, you can go to jail. What do you guys think about that? Hala hala. What do you guys think about that? That, and the reason I'm bringing this up is for this reason. I've seen outside where you have these women dressing like this. The moment that I see them, I think to myself, they talk about culture appropriation so much. Like, you can't culturally appropriate someone by wearing braids in your hair. If I wear braids in my hair, it's improper because I'm appropriating African, I guess, or something. What, tell me your opinion on that too. I don't agree with that. I think it's nonsense. But if that is appropriation, me wearing a braid in my hair is appropriation, what would you call someone trying to pose as a woman and be called a woman when they're not? That is appropriating a person's gender or sex. In my view, that's in my view. You're appropriating me because you don't know what it is to be a woman. You'll never know what it is to be a woman. You'll never feel what I feel. You just can't. It just can't. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think it's appropriation. I think it's gender appropriation, sex appropriation. And I think that should be illegal. If it's going to be illegal that we can't mispronoun someone in New York, it should be illegal to appropriate the sex of someone else. Victim Olympics, what a nice name. Says, Ameera, does your husband have a heartache about you wearing those clip-in hair pieces and makeup like Western men? Western men wear what? And this is my hair, honey. There's no tracks here, honey. It's mine, all mine. So I don't know what you mean. No, not everyone wears weaves and wigs. Sorry. This is my actual hair. I did actually cut it a little bit. You guys see it's freshly cut, but no. All mine, honey. All mine. Right, Queen Lola. She says, next we're going to have a transgender, non-binary president. We already had that. I can't say that. Thank you, Red Wine. He says, I think calling a man a woman or vice versa would be mocking them if that's what they want. Do you guys understand the offense that I take when I see someone dressing like me, dressing like a woman, coming to me and saying, my pronouns are she, when I can clearly see that you're a he, but you want me to call you a she, okay? So I'm trying to be respectful, okay? And I'm trying to call you a she, but in my mind, I'm thinking, is this how low you think of us women? Do you really think that just wearing a dress, a wig, and a whatever makeup, that makes you a woman? This is how low they think of us. Like, oh, I'm gonna fool these women. Watch me, I'm gonna fool them. Put on this dress, they'll never know the difference. But we have to admit that there is something wrong because women are tending to look a little bit more like trans men today. You guys have noticed this trend. Like, women don't walk feminine anymore. They don't walk like women. They don't sit like women. They don't speak like women. Women are wearing the eyelashes that are, you have to connect your camera. All the people that are coming in don't want to get on camera. You have to be on camera. I'm not letting you in because JR, I see you, but you have really bad signal. If the women are dressing the same as the men in like the lashes that are like, what do they call them? They're like 25s. This is a size, I think 25 centimeters or something like that. And the men are wearing those too. We look the same. Are you here to troll me or are you trying to actually have a conversation? Because if you're here to troll me, you're not doing very good, sir. At least say it with your chest. I don't mind you trolling, but you have to put your face on camera. And then you can troll. Why are the trolls so cowardly? If you're going to troll, do it properly. Do it with your chest. Don't do it like this. Yes, I see you. But I see that you're joking with me. I don't like that. John, Chris Brown beat up Rihanna. It was called domestic violence. But let a man knock around a woman in a sports... But let a man knock around a woman in a sports event and it's called entertainment. You notice the other hypocrisy that I've seen? Sheriff, if you're going to, okay, you have to fix your camera, sir. You have to fix your camera, or else I'm gonna think you're just trying to troll me. And I don't mind being trolled, but JR doesn't like it. And see, you see what happened? See? You know the other hypocrisy that I noticed? When you are an adult and you go to work, you can't speak about sexual subjects or topics in the workplace because you'll get in trouble for harassment, for being inappropriate, and so on. But in the schoolhouses, they're teaching children about gay sex, about LGBT everything, trans this, trans that. You can take this off, you could put this on, you could put this inside of that and wrap it around. And that's going on in schoolhouses, and that is seen as appropriate. But us as adults, we cannot go to work and speak about sexual subjects, or else we get in trouble with HR, which is no sympathy. We get in trouble with HR. Make that make sense. No, 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 it wasn't you, no sympathy. It was someone else. That wasn't you, no sympathy. I saw you, but this was a different person. It wasn't you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I see you. I see you. I see you. Okay, okay, okay. Turn off, turn off. Okay, okay, I got it. JR, I know him. I know him, okay? Just let him up for a little bit. Hi, no sympathy. How are you?
Pretty good. How's it going? So yeah, I
It's
thought I'd
going good.
use this lunch hour to call in.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. What do you have on the subject? What do you think about the wealth gap? What do you think about the transgenderism? What do you think about HR, since I know you're triggered by that? Do you have anything that you want to say to the
Yes,
group?
I wanted to address something that seemed to be. I don't think you did it on purpose. I think it was just unconsciously glossed over. The wealth gap. So
Right.
it is okay. Actually, it's more of a gender gap. Um, it is an earnings gap, not a wage gap. This is the
Correct.
conversation that I try not to have with my colleagues. Actually, I don't. I just smile and nod.
Mm.
Yeah, so it is an earnings gap. Why? Look at the high paying fields and look at and look who dominate the spaces in those high paying fields.
Hmm. Like
Also,
doctors, scientists,
yeah,
lawyers.
yes, yes. Doctors is where you will see some females. I don't know if it's 50-50, but they do
But it's
have a huge
dominated by
presence.
men. It's definitely dominated by men, especially when you get into surgical doctors, doctors who perform surgery. It's majority men. It's very rare that I've seen that a surgical doctor is a woman.
Right. And there are many fields under the doctor umbrella too. No, you're absolutely right. One of the things that I typed in on the chat was um, the hours, the daily hours worked. Last I checked was off the Bureau Labor of Statistics.
Right.
Um, Women, believe it or not, do not work a full 8 hours on average. Um, it might have changed because the last date I believe was in 2015,
Mm-hmm.
but it was 7.8 hours, while
Was
the
there a
men.
reason? Did they mention a reason
Um,
for that?
it did not say a reason, but I can probably tell you that a lot of them do. A lot of them I noticed will get off work a little earlier to pick up their child from wherever, or take their child to a dentist or something like that, or
Oh,
they will, or not,
oh,
or instead of getting out earlier, they'll take more time off, um, show up work later or take more time off for sick days and stuff. That is what I notice in the HR role that I've done. Now I'm more as a fill in and backup. Um, I don't.
wait, 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 no sympathy. Wait one moment. The chat is losing their minds again. I always call the chat the animals, but guys, God, I think this is I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Says
Mimi,
wearing weaves is low IQ.
no, it's not
That's
a two.
wrong.
Okay. Um, and I
I
think
can't believe
someone
someone thought
miss.
I'm wearing weave. Someone's saying that I'm wearing weave, and I'm like, where would anyone get that impression? My hair isn't even long right now to be saying that. Like, my hair used to be down to my waist. Well, my hips, actually. But
Uh,
now I cut it, and then now people are saying, oh, she's wearing weave. I'm like,
well, I noticed this. The chat audience is a little bit different from your other channel. Um, so it seems like somebody no, not 7 point, not a 0.2 difference level. I did not say 8 hours.
You said
Men work an
7.8.
average, no, that's women. Men work an average of
No, that's
8
what I
point.
meant. That's what she's talking about. That's what she's saying. That you said that women work 7.8 and that men work 8. So it wasn't
No,
actually an 8 hour day.
no, I didn't. I don't think I said 8. I was,
You you
it's
did. I was
8.2
listening to you.
actually. Really? Okay, so I
Oh,
messed up.
no, you did.
8,
I was listening.
okay, so it's 8.2, not 8. So it's not a 0.2 difference. So I misspoke.
Okay, so you're saying that men work 8.2 and women work 7.8.
On average for daily hours. That's according
Okay.
to the Bureau of Labor of Statistics, but that was back in 2015. That could change. That probably could have changed. I don't know by how much.
And men are
There,
also more likely to put in extra work. What is it called? Extra hours.
over
What is that?
overtime,
Thank you,
overtime,
overtime. Sometimes my English is not very good, but yes,
especially
overtime.
salaried, especially salaried employees, which kind of sucks being salaried because you do not get overtime as a salary worker. But
Hmm.
it does. I don't know about now because people are doing something called quiet quitting. Um, but before, a lot of people believed, especially men, believed that by working overtime, they can at least move up the corporate ladder easier. I don't know if that is the case now, though.
I see. I understand what you're saying. Victim Olympics gotta purchase what you have natural. Guys, be nice. I don't know. It could have been an honest mistake where people thought that I was wearing a wig or a weave. It could have been an honest mistake. Who knows? I'm not sure how you would get that because you can see my scalp, but yeah. Here, if you guys want to see my scalp, you can see no weave, no track. I don't do that.
No,
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry, for telling them that. Go on, Mr. Sympathy.
yeah. So quiet quitting, from what I understand, people are making this like it's a new generation thing. It's only because it's trending, but when you really look at it, Gen X was already doing that. As a matter of fact, if you watch the film Office Space, I forgot the character's name, he was pretty much already doing that. He already had that mindset in that film. And they even considered moving him up to management because of it. So
So, what was the idea if you put it in plain words?
okay, so quiet quitting is pretty much just working to the hours, not really putting in the extra effort. You're not
Mm,
really quitting, but you're pretty much just clocking out. You're pretty much clocked out mentally once you hit
uh-huh.
like the 8 hours because there's really no incentive to work more than that,
Right. Mm-hmm.
especially if you're a salaried employee. And honestly, I do not blame them for that because I'm not an advocate for getting extra free labor out of people, especially once they've already done 8 hours. This
Larry.
is this is where I'm a little ANCAP. Actually,
What's
no, that's opposite. That's opposite. No, that's opposite. No, ANCAP is something else. That's anarcho-capitalism. That's something else. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to take
So
politics out of this.
it's very hard to do that. And you asked me to not speak about politics on this channel, but
Right.
I think, look, no, 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 wait one second. Guys in the chat, tell me, are you guys bothered if I speak about the political correlations between relationships and politics that we have in the West? Does that bother you? Does it make sense? Do you think that there's no correlation and it's a stretch? I want to know what you guys actually think because JR has always kind of he's kind of let me go most of the time. Like in the beginning, he kind of like was restricting my talk on politics a lot, but now he's letting me like um, put out the correlations that I see, and now it's not an issue. So I just want to know: do you guys get bothered by it, or do you guys? Somebody said no. People are saying no. Somebody said no, 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 no.
Really?
So that's the thing. Like no sympathy. I think that it is okay because people see what I see, or else they would not trust me. They would not be here commenting if they didn't. I don't
Okay.
believe they would anyway. I don't think so.
Well, because you have a very different audience than you do with your other channel.
That's
And
true.
um, I think, okay, maybe politics can work if it's relevant. If it's relevant to the topic, then yes, I could see how that would fit.
Right.
But I do think that anything about the Orange Man or political identity, I think that's better for your other channel, because I do think that your audience here is a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more, from what I understand, I believe they're a little bit more sensitive to it. And in my opinion, I don't think that really helps the channel. In my opinion, that's just my opinion,
Can I
because
share
you have
something
a
with you?
very, sure,
I want to be candid. You know my views, no sympathy. You've been
I
with
know.
me for a few months here now. I think you've been with me for like 6 months now. But you've seen my views and they're a little bit extreme. I am kind of hard right. I understand that. But believe
Yes.
it or not, I think that my channel's audience is a little bit more sensitive than here. Because here, for some reason, I was scared to even speak about Orange Man. I was scared to speak about certain things. But when I did, I noticed how a lot of people, especially in the comments, or they'll come up on panel and they will say like, yes, we saw that, or yes, we know that, or we were just waiting for someone to actually say it. Thank God for that you didn't just assume that, we didn't know something, or we wouldn't understand or something like that. And I've seen it actually help. I've seen it help the conversation here rather than hinder it. On my personal channel, people are so politically stoned, not stoned, gosh, do you guys understand the word? They're so cemented in their ideas that if I give them a different idea, sometimes it throws people off edge, because my actual channel audience is very political, and they're very more, a lot more sensitive than here, in my view. I could be wrong, but this is what I've seen. What do you say, no sympathy?
Well, when I discovered you on this particular channel, see, I didn't even know about you from your other channel. I didn't even know about you on the Lapeef. I knew about you from Pink Book Lessons, because she did a segment on both you and I Am Courtney Michelle. That's how I discovered the Lapeef Network, was because of Pink Book Lessons channel, who did a segment on both of you. She pretty much
Oh,
showed
goodness.
that you, before the term soft girl era was an actual trending theme, um, she pretty much said that you set her soft girl programming back to factory settings. So that's actually what got my attention to this channel.
I want to change the topic. I no matter how you found me, I want to say thank you. I want to thank everyone for being here. But that topic, I I have addressed it already. I addressed the fact that I wanted to have a different relationship there, but um, yeah, I have nothing but love for Courtney, honestly. And yeah, how long ago was that? Was that like recent? Was it
Oh
recent?
wow. No, it wasn't recent. It might have been months ago. Um,
Okay, well then
yeah,
that's
it
fine.
was. Yeah, and it wasn't just her too. It was Kay. I'm not going to say it. I'll just say this: I won't, if I can't say anything nice about her, I'm not going to say anything. But she also got involved um, in your little spat with Court and Michelle and stuff. So that was, again, that was how I found your channel and got
Mm,
interested, because that's the only time I actually watch. Because you know, other times when I did watch, I was like, God, this is just. I didn't feel like it really offered anything of value until you got on there.
you are saying that I appreciate it, but I don't. Okay, I thank you. No sympathy. I thank you so much. Brandon says, "What is soft girl programming?" Soft girl programming, I'm assuming, is the new term for feminine, right?
Yeah, it's uh, it's women who try to LARP as being cute, feminine, agreeable, kind of like a pick me, but also act it out to where it kind of tricks people, especially high value men, to commit to them. But
Hmm.
if you say something that they don't agree with or is something that they consider challenging, then they go back to what they were. So it's pretty much them wearing a mask or being what I would say a chameleon.
I
Um,
understand.
yeah, and that's also what I notice with other female content creators, especially in this in the manosphere, and I'll even say in the politics as well. Um, you,
Yeah.
I start to see a lot of fakes. Some would call them trad thoughts.
Uh, I can tell you're very involved in the manosphere because all of your terminology comes from there. I appreciate it. John Doe says he was responding to Brandon X's question of like, what is feminine? What is it called again? Soft girl? Soft girl?
Yeah, soft girl.
Okay. So he's responding to the question of what is soft girl. John Doe says it basically implies that modern women have to be programmed to be feminine.
Yeah,
Oh,
to land that high value man. Yes, I will use Kevin Samuels' term. R.I.P. to the guy.
rest in peace, Kevin Samuels.
And big
Um,
up to Anton Daniels too.
Yeah, Anton as well. Anton is doing really well, guys. He's also doing his, I believe, morning show. His morning show has gotten a lot more popular because, like I said, consistency, consistency, and he's been very consistent. So it's gaining traction. It's doing very well. Go check out Anton when you get a chance. USA says, "What is your other channel?" I'm a homophobe, so I'll fit right in. The other channel is the Exiled Lioness, Exiled, EXILED, Lioness, LIONESS. Queen Lala, she says, listening to Ameera about a year ago and talking to my husband is what encouraged me to become conservative. Ooh,
And oh,
I
go ahead.
love to hear that. I really love to hear that because conservative women are my friends. Like if you're a woman and you're conservative, I want to talk to you. I want to email with you. I want to bond with you because I love hearing. That's why Queen Lala, she had like come to my channel and straight away I even got pushback for rolling out the red carpet to Queen Lala when she came over to the channel. They were like, there are people who have been here longer than she has. I said, yes, but Queen Lala, I knew her from Lapeef, and she had been with, like, the way she spoke to me from the beginning was different. So I really thank you, Queen Lala. I am so happy to have that kind of influence on you because, I really don't think of myself as much. And to see that I actually had some kind of good influence, it really boosts my happiness. Yeah. Go ahead, no sympathy.
So my question now, and this is going to pertain to the wealth gap. Do you think with this current trend of people getting their passports and permanently relocating overseas, do you think that is going to possibly have an effect on the wealth gap in the U.S.?
People getting married overseas and staying there.
Yeah, yeah, getting the passport, um, working most likely going to be remote. Um, yeah, getting married, definitely not bringing them here. Do you think that will affect the wealth gap of the U.S.?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know because the US always loses, when someone else goes. But at the same time, you leaving, there's still going to be 10 more coming after you left. So would that really change anything? I don't know. I I would possibly say no because one person leaves, 10 more come because America is not a country that is hurting for people. We're not hurting for people. We're not hurting for. I guess it depends on what class you're in that you leave because if we're losing upper class people, high class people, then that could be an issue. Depends on the class, I think. Depends on what class. Oh, I see that
Nice.
the chat is responding to you. J Boss says that's a complex question. Justin says no. Natural Empress says exactly. Brandon says no. So yeah, I agree with them. I would say no. because there's always going to be people coming, but it also depends on the class of the person, of the people that are leaving. If we're losing good big percentages of high class people or upperclassmen here, then that's going to have a negative effect on our wealth in America, of course, but that's never going to happen. I mean, I don't think that marriages and women can affect the country that badly. I mean, what's your answer?
I really don't have an answer. I would say it depends on the job that they do that takes away from the US.
Hmm.
That's the only thing. And again, I don't know. Based on the trend, it's only really getting attention because of social media. I'm pretty sure people are still doing it, or were doing it before social media, before the Passport Brothers movement and everything,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually something
Mm-hmm.
I myself am interested because I'm not. You already know my political identity. I
I do.
really don't believe in fixing this country. I believe in, I kind of take a similar stance as Undead Chronic, who I found, who that's actually how I heard about you. I kind of take the
Oh my
same stance he
God.
does into
Mm.
letting this nation burn and then decide whether to repair it, leave it as it is, or
Mm-hmm.
relocate.
Just go build,
I
yeah, go build somewhere else. I want to
Yeah.
address that, what you're saying, because if you guys don't know Undead Chronic, he's my friend as well. Guys, I wouldn't recommend Undead Chronic on this channel because Undead is a little bit racist. But if you are not easily offended, then you could go to Undead Chronic. But um, the idea of saving this country, I agree with you as well. I think the great flood that was spoken about in the Bible and that so many speak about, I think the flood is here. That flood is not coming in the form of water, but in the form of decay of Western society, the form of what is the word? Degeneracy, the form of rainbow flags, the form of, I mean, this flood is not water, but it's a colorful, glittery flag instead of being a flood of water. I know my words got mixed up there. I hope you guys understand what I was trying to say, but
and I also notice with the recent influx of immigrants, this is again, this is where I separate myself from other libertarians, is that I do believe in strong borders. Libertarians believe in something completely opposite of that. But one of the
this is
things that
why
I
I say
noticed,
libertarians are Democrats. Libertarians are Democrats. And just really quickly, I want to address the comment. Um, I can't say your name, but I'm gonna actually try. I'm gonna try. You know what? Just for the heck of it, just so somebody can clip this and put it on replay. Here we go. Say it with me, guys. Scrap, Skrilla, Rila. Scrap, Skrilla, the Rila. Scrap, Skrilla, the Rila. There you go.
I was
He
surprised he
says,
used an ER at the end of his name, because I would have said it's Scrap Skrilla the Rilla, but whatever.
well, he wants to be proper, so proper grammar matters to some people, not like Yahoo News with the people who wrote their article. It was just anyway. He says, "You see, they dropping people off at Martha's Vineyard. I did see that." And he also talks about the flood of destruction. They removed illegals from Martha's Vineyard in one day, but they constantly speak about how they don't have the funds, they don't have the means to move these illegals to a different place because, oh, it takes so much this and we don't have the manpower and blah, blah, blah. But you see, they got those illegals out of there real quick and real fast. You see how quickly they move when they're uncomfortable. But when we're uncomfortable, oh, well, you just have to deal with it, America. You just have to deal with it. 3 says, my problem is immigrants getting more benefits when they first get in the country than some native-born Americans. Oh,
And
there are 3 states currently in the state of emergency, and I know Washington, D.C. isn't a state, but for the sake of the argument, these are 3 places in America that are in a state of emergency, which is Washington, D.C. I know it's not a state. I'm not dumb. Not that dumb, anyway. Washington, D.C., New York, and Illinois are all in a state of emergency, Illinois being the final state that is in a state of emergency, and it's all because of the high influx of all of these illegals pulling down and weighing down on the welfare system, because these people don't just come here happily and say, oh, we're here to work. They come here with their hands out. They need medical, they need dental, they need food, they need housing, they need clothes, they need everything. I mean, and yeah, so they're expecting that from you.
So that brought me to my next question. Do you think that this is the Democrats' way? God, I can't believe we're talking politics on this show, but we'll do it. Do you think it's their way of possibly narrowing the wealth gap, but doing it with a different action? Like they understand that there's a wealth gap, but they're doing it this way as their way to do it. Do you think that's why they're doing it? That's one of the reasons.
No, I have a more sinister idea of what they're doing. I believe that the Democrat Party is welcoming this type of instability into our country in order to overrun the polls and so on with the vote of these people. Because remember, before they didn't care about them because never mind, I'm not going to say that. But they know that the illegals that come here will typically, actually, surely vote Democrat. They're going to vote Democrat because in their eyes, the Democrats are the party of free goodie bags, the party of free food, the party of we're not racist. It's those dirty Republicans that are racist. They won't give you free things like we will. You want ice cream? Be good. And their form of being good is being loyal to them.
So now this is going to be on my manosphere side now with
call in Queen
illegal.
Lala if you can. Call in Queen Lala if you can. I'm sorry, Mr. No sympathy.
No, I get it. So yeah, this is going to be my manosphere side, as I feel like I'm more versed on the manosphere side as opposed to politics. I don't know why. That's just how I am. One of the things that we don't like about it, and I can't speak for everyone, but this is my take, is that I notice most of the illegal immigrants who come here are males, and I think that messes up the relationship. In a way, I think it messes up the relationship dynamic a little bit, especially with the, it used to be 80-20 hypergamy, but now it seems after this scamdemic, it seems that the hypergamy ratio is now 90-10.
So 90% of women are going after 10% of men?
Yeah, and I think also bringing in more illegals, especially who are men, are messing that up even more.
So you've noticed that the majority are healthy, able-bodied, as they call it, able-bodied, working men, unmarried. The majority, right? The majority are unmarried, of working age, in their prime men. This is how Europe got flooded. Is that the word? Flooded. This is how Europe got flooded with all of those migrants from Syria. What's the other countries that they were flooded with? I think Syria was the main one because Syria was going through a war at the time. But I was in the UK at the time, and there was a huge flood of immigrants coming. I forget the other country. There's another country, but I just don't know the name. It may have been North African. It may have been Algeria or something. I don't know. Maybe Tunisian, maybe Libyan. But there was a huge flood of Arabs. And me being Arab, you would think I'd be like, oh, family. No, I was like, there's so many Arabs here. I was like, I don't want to live here no more.
Yeah.
My gosh.
But do you think that messes up? I think it messes up the manosphere a little bit, or at least the hypergamy ratio, I think.
So all of the illegals coming in, the American men, now stay with me, guys, stay with me. I know this is going to hurt a little bit. I know this is going to hurt for some men. The amount of American men that have low testosterone and who are feminine, which I think is due to plastic, but there's my tin hat conspiracy theory. But the amount of men that have low testosterone, low sperm counts, no muscles because of low testosterone, they're very soft. They've been taught that they They have to stand down whenever a woman gets upset. The amount of men that we have here that are like that, and then you have men coming from these third world countries that come here full testosterone, strong, very traditional in their mannerisms and what they believe about women and men. They come in, I would say, more not. I don't know the word. What's the word? It could be manly. It could be something. But they see these men coming in, these illegals or third world men with beards and so on, and they get attracted to them, right? They start mating and having babies with them.
Yeah,
Then
they
what?
are the alpha.
Is
They
that
are the alphas. You're talking about those men that those men's are pretty much the betas. They're actually a little bit worse than the betas. Because a beta is pretty much an average person. Um,
right?
but they do see some of they do, I'll say it. They'll see the Mohammeds, they'll see the Enriques, and even the Abduls, and they
Brandon.
see them as alphas. So no, I totally get it. Um, and yeah, GMO is another factor that turns male today's American men into I guess soy boys, kind of a thing. So no, but I do notice that does affect a little bit of the manosphere because again, the hype.
Sozan is right. Masculine rather than
Oh,
alpha. Exactly. I think a lot of people do confuse that with being alpha, and it's like not everybody can be alpha. The alpha term, and God, this is so stupid because I get so tired of calling men alpha or beta because men are humans. We don't have those type of groups or systems like wolves do. We are different. But either way, I get the analogy. I think the term is masculine. They are masculine, not alpha. And Brandon, I want to bring on Brandon as well, but I am so tired of having black screens on the thing. So, Brandon, if you can sit in front of the camera, please do. Please do. Do me a favor because
Solzan is definitely on point.
exactly. Brandon, I know you hear me, Brandon. He's trying to ignore me now. Brandon, please. He
I
says he
kind of
can't.
understand. I kind of understand
Okay, okay,
because
turn it off.
a lot of us don't want to be doxxed. A lot of us have full-time jobs. Now, if I get myself into a space where I can do this full time and maybe even work remotely to where people can't really see my face, then then I'd be more open to camming up. Because again, my last account where I did have my face, I
MS, no sympathy, really quickly. And I
no
understand your
problem.
point about doxing. I understand your point about doxing. MS says it's to breed out the white race and make all people brown. But if you notice in the upper echelons of people, like in the upper classes, the high classes, they will not breed out. They make sure that their children are white and they marry white. Or even if they don't marry, that they reproduce with white.
The thing is that
So
yeah,
go
sorry.
ahead, Brent.
Yeah, the thing is
No, I'm
that
sorry.
I'm a little skeptical about is I don't understand how you're not securing the border, and you have all these people coming in, and if you go to Washington D.C. or you go to California, there's a lot of citizens that actually born in this country that are struggling and they're on the street. So if you're gonna give away free money, shouldn't you take care of your citizens first? If you got that much money to just be giving away to illegal, you got a lot of people that are struggling that's on the street. Go to California, you'll see them. They have camps, everything. Go to Washington, D.C., you'll see them. So if you're trying to, why don't you help your citizens that's in your country secure your border before you start just letting in people and say you have free money to give them? That make no sense to me at all.
Well, I want to respond to that, Brandon. I understand what you're saying, that there is money to go around, but you cannot make people work. And the thing is, we have Americans, you're saying give the money to them. If these people are lazy and they don't want to work, we shouldn't be giving money to nobody. No matter if it's illegal or them, definitely not the illegal, of course. But even them, like they need to get up and work. We need working people who want to. The majority of homeless people are there because they choose that life. And I know, oh my God, I can already hear in the chat, people, nobody ever chooses to be homeless, Ameera. Yes, you do. You do. Every day you have a choice on whether to get up and do something productive that can earn you some dollars, some money, or you can sit there and put a needle in your arm. Every day you have a choice. When you raise your head out of that bed, you have a choice. And these people have chosen that. And the fact that we have, this is mental illness to me. The fact that we have this huge amount of homeless, and it's not just Washington D.C., Brandon. It's everywhere, everywhere. It's
Yeah, but
Philadelphia,
you
and
see
go ahead.
what you're saying is good, but I'll push back on that because once again,
Yeah.
when the illegals come here, they are not being forced to work. They're saying we are giving you money, we taking care of your food, we taking care of everything. It's not like the illegals are coming here and the government is saying y'all got to get a job. No, they're saying don't worry about that. We'll take care of you. We got food for you. We got house for you. We got this for you. So if you're telling me you're going to take care of illegals, take care of your citizens.
USA says people who don't change their smoke detector batteries are psychos. Brandon, are you a psycho?
No, of course not. But I'm saying though, when you think about it, it's not like they're forcing these people to work. They're not that come here.
Yeah, you're right. And the illegal issue, I cannot compare it to Americans that are on the street. This is the only thing that I'm pushing back on you for. I don't want you to compare it to the Americans that are on the street to say, oh, we instead of giving the money to them, we should give it to the Americans. They shouldn't be here in the first place. You're right, we should close the borders. We should make sure that we don't have this problem. But like I said, this is all political moves. This is chess, not checkers. This is a political move. And the amount of politicians that know how many people will die, suffer, be ill, what is it called? Be forced to live in dirty environments, dirty, filthy environments, where we have polio coming back. Polio. Polio has returned. There's another disease, I forget what it is, that has emerged again in California in the streets. I think it was something like, not measles, it was something worse than that. But anyway, we have all these ancient diseases coming back because people are just so filthy now and living in these filthy environments. And politicians know that, but it's all to their political gain. No sympathy.
Yeah, so I wanted to address what is it, JD, who says I'm not saying anything cancel worthy. It's not about just saying something cancel worthy, but it's also the department that I work in as well that has me a little bit on shaky ground and why I don't cam up. And again, I am looking to transition to work remotely. So I wanted to give some pushback on Brandon. So Brandon, illegals who come here, and I'm hoping you're not just focusing more on the Latinos that are coming in.
No, I'm talking about everybody. I don't care what color you is. If you're in this
Okay.
country illegal, I'm talking to you.
Here's what I notice. I don't do I think everyone who comes to this country are having their hand out and taking money. No, I do actually see illegals in here start their own businesses. I do see that happening. But is it a majority of them coming in here and doing that? No. I can't really speak on the statistics on that because this is where even the stat cells become a little bit woke and sometimes will not disclose something like that. But just walking around my area, I do live in proximity to not just Latin, I don't want to say illegals because I don't know for sure, but not just Latin immigrants, but also East African immigrants as well. And I do see businesses based on their ethnicity built up, whether it's services, dining, and stuff like that. So
I need to respond
just
to Mimi when you finish, okay?
sure. So it isn't just that. But my take, and I wanted to go on with the homeless, is that I totally agree with Ameera. The only time I believe we should help out the homeless is if they're under 18, and the parent should not be able to piggyback off of that. If the parent, if the parent is responsible for that situation, then the child should be emancipated.
Okay. Thank you. No
It's
sympathy.
a little different take, but yeah.
Oh, 1 second. Mimi. Mimi says, how do y'all know illegals are getting benefits? If you ever filed for government assistance, it's impossible to get it without social security number. So I'm confused. Somebody educate me. Right, Mimi. So in this country, we have the birthright citizenship. A lot of the times, the illegal, especially the women, they come here pregnant and they typically birth lots of kids. And just from that one kid that they birth, they will get assistance. They'll get WIC, they'll get, and you can even apply for housing and so on and so forth because your child is American. And as for so, I've never applied for government benefits. I'm not sure if you need a social security number, but it's well known that they are always on stamps. They're always getting what is it called? What is this one called, guys? Give me a second. The one where they get your medical card. You have a medical card. You get dental. What is it?
You're talking about food stamp? You're talking about which one?
Medicaid.
Medicaid. There you go. So everybody knows because if you ever go to the doctor or the hospital, you can see so many people in there who don't speak English, and the majority of them are illegal. And they're in there getting their dental treatment done. They're in there getting root canals and cavity fillings and cleanings, teeth cleanings. Go to the hospital. They are there getting service just like everyone else. And you're like, you don't even speak English. You are definitely not from here. But you'll see their kids sitting there playing with their iPhone, speak perfect English. And you're like, okay, so this is anchor babies. Typically is anchor babies that they, but okay.
Yeah, I'm in New York City and I got like family that work in the Port Authority. So like they've been coming in buses. So you'll see like they come in buses and they putting them up in hotel. Because I was talking to my cousin like a few days ago and he was like, yo, I'm working at the Port Authority. If you're seeing all these illegal coming in on the buses, they get in food, they get in rent pay, they got them put up in hotels. So I'm like, yeah, this is going on. This is a fact. This ain't no joke.
Correct. And I want to respond to Tornado. Tornado, welcome. He says, yes, homeless can become a lost cause, but it's by design. Nobody's designing to have. But 1 minute, no sympathy.
Yeah.
He says it's sad stuff. People slaving at low-paying jobs just to avoid that. So you're telling me the only option in your whole life is to either live on the streets and be a bum because it's by design for you to be a bum, right? Or you slave away because slavery exists right now. So we're slaving at a low-paying job, whether it be McDonald's, being a clerk of some sort, or cashier. Oh, that's slavery, right? You're slaving at a low-paying job to do what? The lifestyle that you want is going to determine how much work you need to be doing. If you want a comfortable, lavish, luxurious lifestyle, that is going to determine that you need to work a lot harder or smarter. These people, I don't understand. Like, if you want to just live basic, if you just want to have a square to live in, a bus pass, and a little bit of food processed, what is it called? Processed, right? Processed meat, processed food, and processed food in your kitchen, you can live like that. You don't have to slave away to live an average or below average life, but you don't need to be on the street begging others. That's what I'm not getting the options. You only have two options: slave away at a low paying job or be on the street with rats and asking people to have sympathy for you. No sympathy. No sympathy.
Again, only the minors should be able to, I hate the term benefit from it, but to receive assistance. Again, and if the parent put that minor in that position, then the parent should lose custody. Simple as that. And if there is no responsible family within proximity, then the state should at least emancipate them. Now, as far as illegals coming in that are minors, that's a tough one. That is a very tough. Just deport them at this point.
People want to be paid more, says three. And I agree. Everybody wants to be paid more. You don't think everybody wants to be paid more? Trust me. Everybody wants to be paid more. But is your service or what you're doing valuable enough to be paid more? Is what you're doing worthy of being paid the price that you're asking for? That's my question. Because I've seen people say that they want $20 for working at McDonald's, and it's like, what are you really providing? Okay, you're standing, you're possibly serving. That's cool. This is supposed to be a teenager job. It's not supposed to be for adults with kids and mortgages. It's supposed to be a beginner job where you learn discipline. That's it. But people taking it, Queen Lala, guys, I'm so sorry we have a bunch of black squares because people don't want to cam up, but
I'm like,
Queen
once it,
Lala.
I'm
Sorry,
like, you just want to make
we
sure they show their face before you, so you know they're real and everything is okay. And I think you'll be all right.
That's not the point, Brandon. The audience doesn't want to see black squares. They want to see faces so they can laugh at us.
They saw my
I,
face on
I'm
my
like, they got your pretty face to look at. I'm
episode.
sure they'll be okay.
Well, they're laughing at me too, saying I'm wearing a wig and so. Hi, Queen Lala.
Hello.
How are
because
you?
you got a bunch of blue pill people in that audience in the sorry, no offense, Lapeef, but you got a bunch of
No.
simps in that
N-
audience.
no
You
sympathy. No,
know,
no, 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 no. You will not. No, you will not insult my audience. These people, the Lapeef Network,
No,
you
he's
cannot
kind of
insult
right. I'm
them.
sure most of the guys that are here, they're here to
Okay,
see you,
I'm
not
I'm
us.
gonna get both of you guys right on out of here. Bye, guys. I'm joking. I'm joking. I bring you back. I'm joking. Hi, Queen Lala.
Hello.
Hey. Um, what do you have anything to say?
Yeah, so when the topic was on like the immigrants and the state of emergency in Washington D.C., I can actually talk more about that because Washington, D.C. is what I'm more familiar with. The mayor actually of Washington, D.C. was trying to get access to the Pentagon for National Guards because the there were buses being deployed here, and they denied her twice for trying
Oh,
to use the additional resources. So now she put the district in state of emergency.
this is what I was speaking about. That there's three states. Well, I know District of Columbia is not a state, guys. But USA says as of May 22, 2022, 34 states plus the District of Columbia have opted to take advantage of this federal funding for immigrant health care coverage. I will look this up right now so I can give you guys the proper name for this. You guys can chat. I will just look this up. So when I have it, I'll share it with you.
Yes, there's also an office that was just created in Washington D.C. sometime this week to help place and give additional resources to immigrants. But what don't make sense to me is why were you trying to get the National Guards involved, and now you want to help because you're like it's not enough space. But the mayor we have here is obviously Democratic, and she's just like, well, we're here to help everybody. But then when they come here, she's like, okay, we don't have room to help everybody, but you as well as Biden is telling everybody it's just free, come as you are. But then when they follow through with the actions, it's just like they're hypocrites.
I Queen Lala, oh my God. Guys, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services website says the fiscal year of 2022 Citizenship and Integration Grant Program. USA is right when he said the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services began accepting applications for 4 competitive funding opportunities under the Citizenship and Integration Grant Program. Why do I keep saying that so long? Through these 4 opportunities, the USCIS will offer up to $20 million of your money in competitive funding for organizations that help prepare illegal immigrants for naturalization and promote civic integration through increased knowledge of English, U.S. history, and civics. That's our money. That's 20 million of our money.
you already know how I feel about that as a libertarian.
I do. I know. It's a trigger. Tornado says they already took out trillions of tax dollars for COVID relief. You know where that money went, Tornado. It didn't go to. Okay. We know, right? I mean, okay. Mimi says, wow, our tax dollars just go to anything nowadays. Well, it's not
Didn't
just
a lot of
anything.
oh,
Go ahead. No, I'm
didn't
sorry.
a
Go ahead.
lot of didn't a lot of our tax dollars go to that cuck comedian that's right next to that other country that's invading them?
The cuck comedian.
The
Are
cuck
you?
comedian
Oh, you're
Zelensky.
talking about Zelensky?
He's a cuck comedian.
He is. He is. He was an actor before. He
That
was.
guy. Did you? Well, I don't. That's a little graphic, but did you know that him and his wife posed on the cover of Vogue magazine while one of his one of his POWs. I think it's within the same. I don't know if it was within the same day, but I know for a fact it was within the same week. While one of his POWs was getting castrated on camera.
That's not real.
No, that is. Well, he
No
was.
sympathy.
Yeah,
Are you
while
serious?
he and his wife were posing for the cover of Vogue. It was with. I know for a fact it was within the same week. I don't know if it was within the same day, but I know for a fact it was within the same week. Yeah.
That is horrific. Do you guys hear what he said? Oh my goodness. And oh right, go ahead, JD. He says 10% goes to the big guy. Of course, we never forget that. 10% to the big guy. Did you guys hear Joe Biden today? He did a speech to the UN. You guys see that? Possibly
I
not. I
try
watched
not to
it.
watch too
I
much
don't
politics.
watch
I try to
much of
stay away
him.
from most of politics. So, yeah.
I
Mm.
don't Joe Biden anymore because I just try to compare who gets sleepy first, me or him.
You know? You know what? Okay. I have to say something to you guys. I want you guys to do something on behalf of me, right? On behalf of me. I want you guys to go to Reuters, go to whatever mainstream media source you want to go to. Go there and watch Joe Biden's speech to the UN. When they pan the camera over to the country's representatives that were listening to Joe Biden, I want you to count how many people were sleeping, yawning, having other conversations with one another, or just looking in disbelief. Look at the reaction of the world to our potato head in chief, Joe Biden. I want you guys to look at the reaction of the world because this is not just us anymore. You can't just say, oh, those are just Republicans who are against him. You can't say that this time. These people, this is the world reaction to him. When he was speaking, you guys, it was so wrong because I think the cameraman knew what he was doing. Every time he would speak about a country, especially when he was speaking about Middle Eastern countries, he said something about the Iranian women. He said, oh, I'm so happy to hear that Iranian women are stepping up for their rights in their country. Iran, when they panned over to the representative for Iran, he was looking at them like this. He was probably thinking to himself, like, the women fighting for their rights, like women fighting for their rights in America, for you not to sniff them? Probably same thing. It's
I'm
just,
I'm gonna I'm gonna say
you
something
gotta
out
look
of
at it.
pocket before I dropped off because I got to get back to work. So
Okay.
the way I see Biden is he is a cuck who I wouldn't surprise if he allows Michael Obama to smash Jill, the on low key. I wouldn't
You
be
got it. You
surprised.
have to go, no sympathy. You have to.
All right, I'm back to work. All right, take
Thank
it
you, no
easy.
sympathy, for coming in. I appreciate you. I'll see you on Saturday. Oh my God. Yeah, oops. Sorry, Brandon. That is okay, guys. I'm sorry for no sympathy. Like, he, if you're offended, I'm so sorry. If you're not offended and you agree, because I saw in the chat a lot of you guys agreed with no sympathy that there's Sims everywhere, and it's like
There is
I don't.
definitely Sims everywhere. I agree 100%.
Oh, you scare me so bad. You scared me, Brandon. Tevin says, "Wait, who's the big guy?" Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the big guy. The term 10% for the big guy came from back in Obama's days when Obama was president and Joe Biden was vice president. They had some crooked dealings in the Ukraine with a company called Burisma. And when they were speaking to Joe Biden's son, asking him something about the funds or where they should transfer the money to, uh, Hunter said, oh, yeah, transfer it here. And don't forget to give 10% to the big guy. And the big guy being his father. Sad. No, no sympathy. It is always a pleasure to have you on. It is. I just never know what you're going to say. And I never know how many times I'm going to have to say sorry on your behalf. Somebody said it's cruel misgendering her. Who? You talking about Michelle Obama? I don't know. I don't know. Are we really misgendering? I don't know. Maybe. Um, oh, JD says that is a quote from his son. Yes, exactly. So, Queen Lala, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, I'm here.
Queen Lala, as a woman, because I don't have many women who come on because I don't know why women don't want to talk, but as a woman, do you see what we were speaking about with the whole wealth gap? What do you think about the wealth gap between married couples and single people? Also, do you think it is a privilege to be married, or is that something that is, work is work and earned every day?
I believe that marriage is work, and I believe that it's both actually. Like it can be privileged because not every, there a lot of people are taking marriage as just a piece of paper. I can just do it because I can just do it, and it's like with me personally as a woman, my husband, he takes care of everything. So I like we're traditionally married. So it's like when I see people not valuing the aspects of or the value of marriage, it kind of upsets me because it's like they're they're taking it. It's like they're just using their own definition of what they imply it for, and then just completely it strips the value to me. Like not in my marriage specifically, but just what is being taught, what is being practiced. Is like marriage is just some type of hey, let's just go do this, or anyone can do it. And I believe not everyone should have the right to do that.
So, would you consider it a privilege at all? I mean, I know you said it's work, but is there any privilege to being married?
It is a privilege being married. I think it's a benefit being married. I think it's more structure. I think a lot of people have the wrong aspect of um to me personally, the wealth gap, it's still hard for me to understand to a degree. I guess it's because everybody's more competing instead of just the actual benefit from it.
Brandon, I ask you the same question. What do you think about the wealth gap? And do you think that marriage is a privilege? Really quickly before you answer, Three says, I'm actually related to Michelle Obama. Um, do you have any, I mean, have you seen any pictures of her pregnant? Have you seen any baby pictures of her? I'm curious. Uh, Brandon, I ask you the same question.
Yeah,
What do you see about the
I
wealth?
think marriages is like it's a lot of work. I think a lot of people just look at marriage and think it's supposed to be easy, and it's supposed marriage is a lot of work. And I think a lot of people we're in a fairy tale kind of mindset. A lot of time you
Mhm.
hear that your grandmother and grandfather was married for 70 years, and people say, "Oh my God, I want that. That is so beautiful."
Mm,
But you don't know the struggles. You don't know the pain, everything your grandmother and grandfather put up with to make it to
mhm.
70 years. So a lot of people love that 70 years number, but they're not willing to do the work to make it to even 10 years or 5 years or 3 years. So you want to get to the 70 years, but you don't want to do the work to get, you just love that number though. Like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. I want
So
that.
it's not a privilege, it's work every day. And this is Brandon, my
Yeah.
view of a privilege is something that is given to you by birth or is undeserved. Like you didn't not undeserved per se, but like you didn't work to get it. It's
Yeah,
just kind
marriage
of
is hard work. Marriage is hard work. It's one of the hardest things you're gonna do in your life, and a lot of people don't understand that. It's hard
um
work.
I'm not trolling three. I'm really asking you a question because no one has been able to present actual, I mean, I haven't seen it. I mean, I could be wrong. Uh, Bathshua says marriage is indeed a privilege. It's work and a test of maturity.
Marriage is a lot. It's a challenge. I think it's the best way to raise your family. I think it's in a two-family house. But unfortunate, especially living in America, they turn marriage in a business, and a lot of time they try to drain drain the guy of everything. Where if he do decide to get like the wife, and then once again, marriage have no check and balance. I could literally marry a woman, and we've been together for 5 years, and she could just get up tomorrow and said, "Hey, Brandon, it been good knowing you, but yeah, I think it's not working out. I'm just gonna tell Uncle Sam that I want a divorce from you." And Uncle Sam asked me why I want a divorce from you. I'm gonna tell Uncle Sam I'm bored, and I just got bored, and I just feel like I need a different man after 5 years. There's no
Mm.
accountability, and when you give people privilege, say they could get divorced for no reason. Ah, that's a mess in the making. That's a glitch in the system that make no sense. I'm bored. Been married to you for 5 years. I get up. I want to get a divorce. Why? Did he beat you? Did he cheat on you? No, I'm just bored. I need a new man. I'm gonna file for divorce. It is what it is. Plus, I'm gonna get the house. I'm gonna get the kids. It is what it is.
Well,
Call it
the wealth
cliche,
gap.
but that's
The
what it
reason
is.
that they
That's why a
the
lot of
reason
men don't want to get married in America.
the reason that they said it's a privilege is because of the financial wealth gap between married couples versus people who are single. And this is why I say you being married, you sticking with your family and having a strong unit, this is the worst enemy of those that want to harm us or destroy us. And that unity is what keeps you, it keeps you and the people in your unit wealthier, safer, healthier, everything. There's only benefits to it. There's not that many disadvantages to having a strong unit other than fighting with each other every once in a while. But I
Yeah,
don't know. I mean,
once again, you're speaking from a woman point of view. You're privileged to be in a marriage, and it's easy for you to break up a marriage. And 80%
I
of
am not
marriages is
privileged.
called
I
off
am not
by women.
privileged, Brandon.
I'm
Brandon,
just
I am
saying.
not privileged. That is
This,
not a privilege.
the system,
No,
though, the system is set up to help women over men when it comes to marriage.
I understand that. But uh, we're talking about marriage solely. I'm not privileged because I'm married. I'm privileged because I'm rich. I'm not privileged because I'm married. Marriage is hard. It's work. It's
Yeah,
it's
but
stressful.
but
Now,
once again, the system set up to tell you, no matter what you do, you should, even if you and your husband got a little argument, the system is telling you, if you just don't you start getting bored, you should just divorce them, and the system will back you 100%. Just yeah, you don't have to come up with a valid reason for you to leave your husband. They don't care. It's a business, and that's the problem.
Queen Lola?
yeah, now that you're like clarifying what you're saying by privilege, I don't think it's a privilege. It is hard work. I think what happens is it's being taken, the way society is labeling marriage is now perceived as a privilege. That's what I think is happening. But I also wanted to make a note, right? And I know this is maybe way off, but I wanted to know, why is it that, because we were talking about, the misgendering and things like that earlier, and I didn't come in then, but I would like to make a comment now.
Yeah.
No, when are heterosexual people able to fight for our rights? Like, when is it a time where we can start a movement to fight? Because I'm very offended by the fact that someone can just put on a dress and say that they're a woman when I'm a born woman, proud to be a woman. And it's like, it seems like it only gets attention when you're saying something that you're not proud to be who you are. Or if you're proud to be who you are, then you're looked at as, oh well, you must hate other people. Like, no, why can't I just be happy that I was born a woman? And where's my rights to fight for the fact that I don't want to be what you got? I want to be labeled as she, her. I'm a woman because I'm a woman. I don't want, like, you get what I'm saying? It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, where's our rights? They say they for equality and all these other things, freedom of speech. But the minute you're saying I disagree with something and I want to, have my rights of a married born woman, is like that doesn't exist to me.
MS Best is responding to you. It seems like it says marriage is either viewed as a badge, which comes with an elevation of lifestyle, or is in general romanticized from a woman's perspective. And I think the perception of marriage is what is so damaging right now, because the Western world, the modern Western world, perceives marriage as, I would say, like, they call it an industry, no? Like an industry, or they, oh God, the word, I know this word. I can't think of it right now, but it's like when you have a company and you're a worker kind of thing, kind of
Like
relationship.
a corporate
Kind
business.
of like that, like a corporation. So it's like they see marriage as something that is antiquated, it's old, you don't need it in today's world. It's also seen as, oh, well, you're fine, you're married. I mean, you guys have money saved up. You're not suffering like us outside who are unmarried, kind of thing. And it's like the finances, yes, are more stable, but you're not, I wouldn't call it a privilege. And for SM, he's correcting me. He's saying, Ameera, don't get hung up on the word privilege. You have advantages coming from a two-parent home, having a family unit or a community that confers more benefits to give you advantages for less risk for poverty. But is that a privilege, or is that something that you earned from being raised to be a wife or a husband, from being able to cooperate? Is it a privilege when you made a decision to get married? Do you know what I mean? A privilege to me just seems that it's something that is undeserved. It's just given to you, or it's just
No,
something that
but
you have.
yeah, but his message that the message you just read, he's saying having great parents from good family and good everything, that's a privilege. There's a lot of kids that grow up that never have that, so it is a privilege.
But that's for
That's
the
what.
children. But the parents made the choice to make it that way. So they weren't privileged in making that decision. They chose a better lifestyle that gave the privilege to the child. What do you think?
Sometimes I think sometimes your parents are fortunate to come from strong family ties that have
Mm,
family that was always there. Some family
mm,
never have that.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Some family never have that. I know family that was always fighting with each other. I was always my dad was there, my mom was there, my uncle was there. I grew up in a strong family tie, but I did go around family that never have that, and I see what it do to them, and I was like, wow, I wish you could have experienced or my family show me love. And they're like, yeah, I see how your family treat you. But I understand and I see that their family is different. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of sad, but at least I never try to look down on them because they didn't have the stable family that I have. I actually was feeling bad that they didn't have the family and the love that I was getting. I feel away.
mm, mm. Is it like jealousy, envy?
It's not jealous. Remember, I have it. They wasn't jealous. They just had family that never gave them that love and they didn't got that support. But I'm a friend of them, so they come around my family and they was like, wow, you should be. I wish my family would have treated me the way your family treat you. And I'm like, yeah, I wish your family would be like my family too, because I see what they're
Mm.
going through, and I'm like,
So it's more like a self-pity, not self-pity, but I guess a yearning for
it, it
that unit or that love, I guess.
it's just being it's be able to, I'm the kind of person, I'm be able to count my blessing. So if my dad was there, my sister was there, my uncle was there, and I have friends that don't have that, I show them the love from me. But then I know I'm never going to be able to make up for their family not doing that love that they're supposed to get from. But I could be a great person when I'm around them and try to show them what I can. But I can't replace their dad or their mom. That's that loving that they need. That's something
Yes.
that they want from their family that I'm not gonna be able to replace. But I'm gonna try to be as best person as I can to them while I'm there.
Thank you. Miss for SMI, she clarified that she is a woman, so I will address you in a feminine term. She says that the kids benefit from the sacrifices and choices parents make, and that is a privilege, not earned by those kids who benefit from it. And that's why I said, yes, the children are privileged, but the parents, they made a good decision to choose this. But nonetheless, I think we all agree that it's advantages. Just like I think Tornado said, I believe it was either Tornado or someone that said we can rather use advantaged rather than use the word privilege, because privilege comes with different connotations, I guess you could say. Um, let me see. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, either Brandon or Queen Lala?
No.
About marriage or what particular situation?
About anything. You guys know I'm open to any conversation, any topic.
What do you think about the whole topic about the woman king?
So which one?
The woman king.
Woman King?
Yeah, there's this movie that's come. I think it's out right now. That they trying to tell an African story, but they're not really telling the real story. And I think me as a colored person, as an African American, I find it very like offensive, because I'm like, you're saying woman king. There's no woman king. There's queen. That's disrespectful. And then you're telling the Naomi story, and you're saying woman warriors, and but these people were selling slaves. They was invading people community. They was putting people in slavery. They was sacrificing people. So there's like a lot going on there that Hollywood they want to say that they're like heroes, but they're the bad guys. So I'm like,
I went to the movies last night, actually. I did see a movie with an African woman warrior, a female African warrior. I didn't know the name of the movie.
Yeah, it's the woman.
It could have been a woman. The woman.
Yes.
Okay.
It's Blossom.
What do I think about women? I have to see the movie first, honestly. Last night I went to the movies and I saw a movie called Pearl. It's a horror movie. Guys, that movie is psychotic. I don't know.
I think I see the preview. That's the one with when the people die, they're smiling.
No, it's like back in the 1918. Back in 1918, this girl, she turns into a serial killer, but the movie basically showed the story of how she ended up being a serial killer. What was her motif? Like how did she become psychotic? And the okay, spoilers, okay. The girl, she's married, she lives with her parents. They're like German immigrants. And in 1918, Germans were very poor farmers in America, so they were seen as the lower classmen, and they were also used as indentured servants, I believe. But anyway, so she was married, but her husband was in war in a different country. He was in World War One, I guess. At the time, they were suffering through a pandemic. I believe it was either the Spanish flu or a polio, something that was going on at the time. So everybody was wearing masks and everybody was acting, like they are today. And she went crazy because she didn't want to be restricted. She wanted to be a dancer. She wanted to be seen by the world and admired by the world. Basically, she was an attention-seeking whore. But anyway, so she lives her life and she's upset because she didn't want to live as this poor German girl living on a farm, milking cows every day. She wanted the life of luxury. She wanted to live in New York and dance and be admired by millions. So what she did was try to go to this audition so that she could be seen by these judges that would offer her the ticket to go to New York. This is what the whole story is about. So in that whole journey to trying to get to this audition, she was denied admiration. She was denied some attention by her mother. Her mother said, get your life together, be a good wife, go out there and milk that cow and shut up about this dance and stuff. She was a good mom, honestly. And she hated it. So one day she just started killing animals, like in her farm, just like putting pitchforks through their chests. So she figured her father was ill and he was in a wheelchair. She rolled her father to this lake on a dock. There's a lake and there was an alligator inside and she wanted to kill her father. Her mother noticed it. So her mother kept a good eye on her after that and said, I know that you have a murderous mind. So she was trying to tell her daughter that she cannot be a murderer, that she needs to be a good wife. I mean, this is a story. And in the end, going to the end, the day of the audition comes. By this time, she had killed her father, her mother, a boyfriend that she ended up having because she was a whore. So she ended up killing a boyfriend that she ended up cheating with her husband with. The audition came and her cousin, who was a blonde, blue-eyed, very pale-skinned girl, her, the main character, she was, kind of tan skinned, dark hair, dark eyes. To me, she was beautiful, but in the audition, they said, we're looking for a more of a all-American look. We're looking for young, blonde, white. And clearly her cousin was that, and she was not. So she was very upset and jealous about that. Her cousin actually won the role into this audition, and she was going to be sent to New York. But at first, before she's sent to New York, her cousin invites her over to have a glass of milk at her house. I don't know why they're drinking milk. I don't know where the tea was at that time, but that is disgusting. Anyone who sits at a table just to drink milk in a cup, you're disgusting. Sorry. But anyway, so they came over to drink milk. She found out that her cousin was accepted into the audition, and she won because she's, younger, whiter, blue-eyed, blonde-haired. So she was very upset. And she confessed to all of the things that she had done to her. And then the girl, she of course ran out screaming because she was like, oh, this girl has gone crazy. She killed her too, of course, naturally. The mother of her body was in the basement, and I'm sorry, the body of her mother was in the basement. So after that, she felt bad, and she goes to lay at the corpse of her mother, and she starts singing some German lullaby. In the end, her husband comes home after, I guess, a month. He comes home to find both of her parents dead, sitting at the table. She put their corpses at the table, looking like they were all having a family dinner. And so they had food there that was all molded and flies and everything. It was a pig they were eating, so it had those maggots and all that. And there was mold everywhere, dead parents, somebody else who was dead. I don't even know who that was. And then he looks over, and there's his darling wife. She was standing there with a pitcher of lemonade, and she's like, honey, you're home. And that's how the movie ends.
Seems like a crazy movie indeed. Talk about serial killer. Yeah, this movie, The Woman King, why I think it bothered me so much, because they try to say it's a real story, but it's a real story that's really off. If it was just fiction, I wouldn't have any problem with it. But the fact that it's a real story of some people that did horrible things, and then they're portraying them to be heroes, and I'm like, yeah, this is not what people, I think, especially colored people anywhere, need to be looking up to. There's plenty of people that did amazing things in Africa. So if you want to tell a really good story, you could tell it, but you don't want to tell a good story. I think you want to tell a bad story and try to brainwash the people at large to feel like these are the heroes that you need to look up to, people that sacrifice people, had people in slavery, kill people grandmother, kill people grandfather. I'm like, yeah, these are not the people I need to see on my screen portraying to be heroes. Like,
well, Larry mentioned that this is actually a prequel to another movie. So this is why I was trying to explain to you guys that this is just the backstory of why this woman became a serial killer. Sugar Bum, The Woman King was brilliant. I am going to see that movie possibly tomorrow night.
Who said that?
It did look interesting.
Who said it was brilliant? It's not brilliant. The Woman King is hot garbage.
Wait, can we get a chance to watch it first? Can we?
I'm like, the real story, you could look up the real story.
I'm gonna watch the movie and then I'll reference the story. But Ameera, with your movie review you just did, I think you should do a movie review for Woman King when you go see it.
That's a great idea. I will. I'll do it. I will watch it. I will watch it either tonight or tomorrow, and I will do a review.
Yeah, The Woman King is not it. I'm sorry to say.
Well, people have differing opinions, Brandon.
Yeah, let me tell you what The Woman King is in so many words. Like the real
Hold on
story.
one moment. Is this a spoiler alert, Brandon?
No, it's not spoiler. I haven't watched it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you about the real story. The real story is
don't spoil it.
No, the movie that you're gonna see, it's not gonna be this. The movie that you're gonna see gonna be a propaganda film. It's not gonna be nothing like the real story.
Oh my God! So Sugar Bum is saying she is allowed to have a differing opinion, sir.
Yeah, she could have a different opinion. Like, that's cool. I'm a realist. Like that's what makes us individual, and that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Somebody said the Woman King is problematic. So
there you.
look,
thank you. Finally, thank you, my kind of people.
Mr. Brandon. So my thing is, whenever I see these stories, these titles of Woman King, this kind of stuff is just roaming rampant around the world. Now, I'm sorry, Sugar Bum, but just from the name, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I will see it. Um, just from the title, having a title called Woman King, it makes me think that it's going to be another one of these feminazi, woman empowerment
It
videos,
is.
and
It is.
I'm really bored with this already. I'm bored with it because it's nonsense. It's
It is
nonsensical, and
nonsense. Thank you.
Mr. Brandon, I am not agreeing with you, sir, yet. I haven't seen the movie. But that's what I'm saying. I don't look, as much as we want to try to make women out to be these great warriors and heroes, history has told us that men are typically the warriors or the heroes or the strongest because men were the ones who were doing that, not women. And it's not that women couldn't, it's because women just don't have the strength to do what men have. We don't have it. So we were typically the protected ones, not the warriors and not the saviors of humanity. Not like, So this is why I will watch it. I will watch it just for the sake of watching it because it is a story of warriors. I love warrior stories, but it seems like it's going to be more feminazi nonsense. But
It
Sugar Bum
is.
says it's good.
The thing is, like, some
Sugar
people are
Bum, I
some.
love this. She says it's based on a true story. She says it's
Stop.
wait,
It's not.
wait, Mr. Brandon, Mr. Brandon, wait. Oh my God. She says it's based on a true story. And she also says people should do research. I love being told that because typically if I say something, people are like, do your research. I'm like, that's why I know what I'm talking about. But in this case, I don't know what I'm talking about. So go on, Mr. Brandon. Floor is
Yeah.
yours.
This particular movie is once again. I look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture that you're pushing here. You have some woman, you know, that was in Africa. You got 3 decades of king that been putting people in slavery, selling people, like sacrificing people, father, mother, sister, everything.
Mm,
Got wealthy by selling slaves, and then they kind of put it in there saying like, man, we are so dumb that we need her black woman to defend us because we black man we're just weak, so we need her black woman to just defend us, run her kingdom. And also
mm,
the black woman need to not have any feminine at all. The black woman literally need to be man. So
mm,
now the black man, we're just idiot. We're kings, but we're idiots. We don't know anything. We don't have any battle plan. We don't have any strategy. So we gotta go to our soldiers that are women to ask. So what are we supposed to do? I'm supposed to be the king that's running this kingdom, but I can't even run my kingdom because I'm too foolish. So I got to go to my soldier as a woman and said, so what's going on? Do I need to go to war or not? You tell me what to do. I'm a king, but I'm so dumb and I don't know what I'm doing. But for some reason, I'm a king and I got to go to this woman that's a soldier to tell me what to do because I
Wait,
know
I have a
why am I a
question.
king?
Brandon, I have a question. Are you talking about the movie itself, or are you talking about? Because I remember you said you're going to educate us
Yeah,
on.
that was the movie itself. that
But
that was the movie itself.
so spoiler alert, right?
No, that's all about. That was the preview. They showing that on TV. I didn't go to the movie
Hold on,
theater.
wait. So you got everything, everything you just said
Was in
was
the
based
preview.
on
Yeah,
just the preview.
yes,
Okay.
that was in the preview.
I am done. I'm done with this. I can't do this no more.
That was all in the preview. That was just the preview. I didn't even. I still haven't seen them. I could see the movie, but as I said, I don't think when you disagree with something that the mainstream media is trying to push down your throat and you disagree with it, I can say, oh, I disagree with this movie, but I need to go see it and give them my money. But I disagree with it. That's a bad narrative to push. If
Oh,
this
oh, oh.
don't align with what real life is, I shouldn't be putting my money. Because if I'm telling all of my family to go see this garbage and they see it making millions of dollars, they're gonna say, "Oh, the people love it." No, the people saying, "Get this garbage out of here. This movie needs to flop and get it out of
Mr.
here
Brandon,
fast."
Mr. Brandon, Mr. Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just want the entertainment value.
No,
I
but if
understand your point. And wait, Mr. Brandon, let me finish.
Hmm.
I understand what you're saying is not historically correct, and it doesn't make any sense, but neither does Avatar, neither do The Lion King. I mean, you, not
Why would you
everything
say
has
that?
to be
Avatar, Avatar is fantasy. They never said it's a real story. Never anybody said Avatar was a real story.
but this story from the
This is
woman,
supposed to be a real story. That's the problem.
I understand that, but maybe they're speaking about it from a different perspective. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Neither have you, right? So, Mr. Brandon, the warrior king or the woman king, I don't know what to say about it, but it does make sense what you're saying, that they're making people look bad. They're making the men look bad when you're saying, oh, the woman has to come and fight in front of the men or for the men. It does make the men look weak because the men should be the strong ones. I haven't seen any Arab movies, or sorry, Middle Eastern movies, where, the woman is dominating over all the men because the men are incapable.
Thank you. You're a
I
smart
haven't
woman.
seen that.
Oh my God, I love it. Great mind. I love that.
But um, we would also argue that black women are different. Like, black women tend to be very strong,
No, no,
and
no, no,
there
no,
have
no,
been
no, no.
warriors.
That's a mainstream media thing. I need all of my beautiful African strong sister. Just be feminine and be a woman. Stop making the mainstream media talk. Oh, you got to be strong and independent. Cut that bullshit out. Get a good man, marry that man, take care of your family. Stop making the mainstream media telling you that your man can't protect you when you got a good man that's willing to die for you. Stop making the mainstream media trying to make you less of a woman. Oh, you're a strong black woman, but the white woman, oh, she's just white and she's a woman. That's it. Stop that crap. Mainstream media is trying to brainwash the colored community with that bullshit. What about just being a woman? Being a woman
Could
is okay.
Um,
It's a beautiful thing.
I would like to comment on what you just said, Brandon, about just being a woman. How would a woman know how to be a woman now in today's society if anybody can be a woman?
I'm like that weirdness that they're trying to push. That's just that's garbage. If you was born a woman, if you're a woman, if you wasn't born a woman, that's just mainstream media pushing more garbage. There's only two genders, but they're trying to tell you there's like 70 genders. That's just garbage.
I mean, Anna, thank you, Anna. She says she hates being portrayed as strong. Um, you know what? I agree. I think that women, I like to be portrayed as resilient, but not as in, oh, I'm so strong. As Crimson Cure says, shout out to Crimson Cure as well. She always says strong with a K. Like, I'm so strong. Like, no, because we're really not that strong. We're really not that strong as women. I
Thank
mean,
you.
we're
Thank you.
resilient. We can be very resilient and very able to adapt to things. We're easily adaptable to different situations and environments. Yes, but yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
And then
hey,
once again, woman, it's beautiful being a woman. You could get things done by being a woman. There's a lot of women, if you check throughout ancient time, that got kings killed. And it wasn't because they went out there and chopped the king head off. No, they used their feminine, being friendly, doing what they got to do, being a woman. And, this guy end up losing his life. So, like, there's so much power in being a woman, but mainstream media forgot. Hey, being a woman is okay. It's a beautiful
mm,
thing. Like I'm a
yeah,
man and I want a woman. You don't have to be a
yeah,
strong black. No, I just need a woman. Can it just be a woman? Can it just be feminine? Can it just be friendly? Can you raise a
right,
family? Can it be a wife?
right.
Is that so hard to ask for? It shouldn't be.
Guys, I want to thank you all for joining me today, joining me on this stream. And I know it was random, so I know a lot of people weren't expecting it. So I appreciate those of you who have stopped by to be with me and to enjoy. I've really enjoyed this time with you guys. Like, I really have enjoyed, and I appreciate all of the laughs and all of the back and forth and banter and all of that. I appreciate it so much. You guys don't know how much speaking with you every week brings up my mood, brings up my sense of like learning, because I do like to learn and I do like to go back and forth. And anybody who pushes back on me, it makes me think and analyze whatever I believe, to make sure that I'm not trying to believe something for the wrong reasons, or if I'm incorrect in certain beliefs. So Thank you, Brandon, for joining me, and I appreciate your strong will, your strong opinions.
You're very
And
welcome. You ever heard the
thank
saying that
you.
say iron sharpen iron? You know, there's a
Yes,
saying.
yes, that was my first video on the Lapeef Network was Iron Sharpens Iron.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is. Thank you so much, Mr. Brandon, for joining me today. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Same to you. Same to everyone else that
Bye-bye.
up to the show. Thanks.
Ciao. Queen Lala, you look, you are, I know. I don't want to like look like, I'm like too loving to you, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, I really appreciate you. And like I said, on my channel, you know that you have your spot on my channel. And yeah, I want you to be more active on my channel as well. Like if you have time, to do it. But thank you. And I appreciate you so much. And thank you for staying with me so long because I know you've been with me since the beginning of me on Lapeef. So I appreciate you standing next to me all this time. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. No problem.
thank you for coming on today. I will see you next week or on Saturday, one of the two.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day. Right, guys. I appreciate you all for joining me. I know it's been kind of crazy at the end. It's got a little bit crazy, but I will go see the movie The Woman King, and I will give you guys an honest impression or movie review from whatever I take from it. You guys know how I am. I'm more like Brandon. I am like Brandon in that I think that, it's nonsense, feminazi trash in movies now, and all of the movies are so woke, are so lefty, are so, promoting nonsense and pushing nonsense and indoctrinating people to believe what's not real. It's not real. No matter how cute it may seem, no matter how lovely it may seem to say, oh, women are stronger than men or just as strong as men. It's a cute thought, it's a cute idea, but it's not real. It's not reality. Just like avatar people don't exist. This whole idea of like women being, it's not true. So no matter how much we want it to be. Thank you, Tornado, and I hope Brandon sees your message. Brandon, people are really upping you. They like what you said. Let's see, a normal nerd. Thank you for coming on, a normal nerd. He says, Sugar, if you want all my attention, just say that, but I prefer natural hair. What are you talking about? Oh, are you talking to Sugar Bum? Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Tornado says, it didn't go crazy. Dude was speaking facts. Yeah, he was. He was. And I do agree with him, actually. But I didn't want him to give us a wrong impression of the movie before we even see it, Someone said in Africa, it's real. It is real. Okay. Okay. It could be true. Like I said, I would have to look up on the real story to see if this woman is, stronger than men, stronger than any man in her village or town or whatever she's reigning over, because typically that's not the case. And I don't like when they try to make men look weaker than women. I just hate in any culture, any race. Why do you have to put the woman to be protecting the men? It's like, doesn't make sense unless the men are all disabled or elderly or something like that. But if that's not the case, let the men be strong. Let them be strong. Let them be what they're meant to be. I don't know. Thank you, Honest Seeker. He says, Ameera, you are a true queen woman. I am not. No, but thank you for the compliment, but I am not. Birth of a Nation. Right. Movie review on Birth of a Nation. That would be great. That would be a great review. It is an oxymoron, Ameera. Yes, woman king. The woman king is a complete oxymoron. It doesn't make sense at all. But yeah. Natural Empress says it's not a matter of stronger. There were women warriors. Agreed. Everybody knows there were women that were warriors. But in this case, what Brandon was saying is that they were saying that this woman, she was a king, which you can't be, it's an oxymoron. But that she was the king and that she was stronger than the men. She had to protect the men and stuff like that. And I think that's where he was getting at. But yes, there were women warriors and they were needed, of course. Okay, I think I'll let you guys go. JR, are you here? Oh, in a second then. Okay, Yeah, I know that. I know that, Inga. I know. In Africa, there were female warriors. In every part, there were female warriors. Even Viking, there were Viking women that were female warriors. I know. I know that. But to say that, there was no one else that was stronger than her that had to protect the village or the tribe or whatever they're protecting, it's just absurd to me. But I will look it up. I'll look it up. Natural Interest says Nana is a term in Ghana which can be interchangeable for king and queen. Yeah, but in English, it doesn't work that way. That's the point, right? But the term is called Nana. Nana? It's nice. There are women kings in Africa. Well, that would make her a queen, wouldn't it? I mean, why would... Okay. All right. Queen Lala. In the title itself, I already know what the agenda is and what the movie is trying to push. Right. I'm going to go see the movie possibly tonight or tomorrow. I just went to the movies last night to see Pearl, so I don't really want to go to the movies twice in a week or like one day after another, but I did want to see that movie. Like when I saw the thumbnail or the preview thingy, I did want to see it, but Ilkan Ali says there is no woman king. There's only queen. And that makes sense, right? I guess the point is that the queen, a queen is under a king is what she's trying to say, I think, and that a king is the highest, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's what she's trying to say. But if you look at England or the UK, they had a queen, a monarchy the whole time, and she was the most powerful woman. So she was never called a king, even though she was the most powerful. So, Natural Empress says King Peggy in Ghana. Look it up, guys. We'll take a look and see what she's speaking about. Don't get stressed, Natural Empress. We're just asking. You don't have to try to make us look stupid. We're just asking you because it just doesn't make sense in English. Maybe in Ghanaian it makes sense, but in English it doesn't. She's like, I don't like when people, no offense to you, Natural Empress, but if someone is talking about something or asking you, like, people get so offended and just like, oh, you guys are idiots. And it's like, we're just asking. We're just curious. You just say, yeah, just, be confident. If what you're saying is true, the truth will come out. The truth will come out. I'm not stressed, laughing face. I'm sharing knowledge. Okay. All right, guys. Inga, we need to stop using Western terms to define African ways. It's not a term. It's the language, English. In English, a woman, the highest that she can be is a queen, right? She can't be a king, and a king can't be a queen. So this is why we say, it's just the language, honestly. It's not really a Western term. It's the language, grammar. Yeah. But yeah, I get it. All right, guys. All right, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for joining me, and thanks for being controversial, as always. I love it. I love you guys for being controversial. I love you guys for being sassy. I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys on the next one. I yield my time, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, let me get this one. You know what? I won't even be able to close it. I'll be right back.